Am I underdressed today? I always feel like I am when I wear this shirt, but I love it.
Underdressed?
Yeah, I just feel like it's too
You know,
cash.
I felt underdressed this morning as well when I was leaving work. I was like,
Did you?
I had a sweatshirt.
I don't think anybody would think that though. People criticize what I wear
I
all
look
the
like
time
I'm
though
in
because I'm a
my
girl.
jammies.
We've actually been actively criticized for what we wear on chat.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have, Brad. Thank you. So, hello there, and welcome to the biggest show ever. Biggest show in the history of the Eddie Frey Show.
I feel like you're mocking my show.
I'm not. I am just touting it a little too much.
It's not the biggest show ever.
Okay, well then it's a
good
darn
show.
good
I'll tell
one
you
though.
what's in today's show.
You're just, this is the opposite of what you do in your marriage. You're setting expectations incredibly high so that everybody will be disappointed.
Okay, listen, today's show is going to suck. It is going to be one of the worst.
Okay, at 12:25.
Thanks, Hannah. All time.
Blaine Wilhour will be joining us. He is the Illinois State Representative for the 107th District. I believe we have a lot to talk about Illinois today. All good or all bad?
HB5855, they're coming for your guns. They're going to pass it like day one. It's going to pass easily, and it'll end up in the Supreme Court. That's my prediction, but we will find out exactly what it means. Just wait until you hear how they're defining what guns are and what's allowed and what's not. So stand by.
105 Dakota Wood, who is the Senior Research Fellow for Defense Programs at the Heritage Foundation, will be joining us. We've had him on many times.
Great guest.
He is great. You want to talk about the YouTube poll?
Sure. Do you support Kevin McCarthy for Speaker? This is a topic that I am pretty interested in because I think there's a lot of fight going on. I don't know if there's a lot of fight going on in Congress over it, but
that's where the fight is.
Well, I mean, I think people are talking about this issue a lot, and the answers are yes, no. Honestly, don't care who is speaker. So, let us know what you think.
The thing that's so interesting about it is you don't need a lot of people to throw things off kilter. So you get
5
in this Congress.
Would you say 5? You just need 5 people to do it, and then everything goes.
But maybe you can have 5 defections. It might be 6. 6 throws the whole thing off.
Yeah.
I think.
Boom Chicka Pop, Greetings America, 12:45.
I just bought some Boom Chicka Pop the other day. It's kettle corn, and it's not that sweet though, and I don't love it. But it's okay.
Did you put some sugar on it?
I tried.
Really?
It doesn't stick now. No. Popcorn always sounds like, man, I'm going to love this. And then I eat it, and it is so stuck in my teeth after eating just a couple pieces that I'm like, done. I'm done.
This really highlights what our show's going to be about.
I was just going to say, the pre-show has basically turned out to be Hannah and Brad trying to say what's going to happen on the show, and then Ryan just telling personal stories about himself.
Kind of like the regular show, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's limited. That's intentionally limited.
Intentionally limited.
Yes.
The Wiggins America topic today is T's, the most important race in the midterms that nobody is talking about.
I can't believe it's been a month since the midterms.
It has, as of today. That's why I chose today to do this topic.
I can't tell if this has been the fastest month or the slowest month.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yes.
Because it does seem like that just happened, and it also seems like it was a year ago.
Anybody want to say what their vote is right now? We're going to talk about it here later, but do you support Kevin McCarthy for Speaker, Ryan?
No, not really.
Are you a no vote or you don't care?
I'm a no vote.
I think I'm a yes as of right now.
I need to do some research.
Do you tell us by the end of the show how you've been persuaded? Okay. I'm somewhere between yes and
no.
Don't care. And it's not that I don't care as much as it is that I'm not interested in the drama.
Yeah.
So.
You're drinking that stuff again?
Nope. That's what I do to my kids. That is what my 6-year-old does to me all day. Like,
call me Evelyn.
Yeah. She just asks you questions like, "Are you gonna?" And then it's like while you're doing the thing, you sit down and you have the remote and you're turning. Are you gonna watch TV right now? And I always say, "No."
Well,
Mom. Yeah. Yes.
When my kids were younger, they would do things and then ask why they did them. All the time.
Sounds like your kids.
I just threw something over the balcony. Why? I don't know. You did.
You explain it to me, Dad. Define my life for me.
Did you talk about 1 o'clock? You said Dakota would, right? You did.
Dakota would.
Yep. All right. Well, it sounds like we're done here, so
Okay.
we'll turn it back over to the radio and.
There's a popcorn.
Yep, and I filled your bucket with 3 flavors I knew you'd love.
Only 3?
I also got you this gift card so you can try as many flavors as you want.
Oh my God, I love it. This is the best gift ever.
Pop Pop Hooray, with locations in Ferguson and new location in St. Charles in the Bass Pro Shop Plaza or online at poppophooray.com. More flavor, more fun, endless popability. Give the gift that's hard to wrap, but easy to give. The Steel Holiday Gift Guide has outdoor power tools and more for everyone on your list. Visit your local Steel dealer or go online to stihlusa.com/gift guide.
Hey, here's a holiday gift from Bed Bath & Beyond. Now through December 11th, get 25% off one item by texting GIFT to 239663. That's 239663. New offers every day at Bed Bath & Beyond. Exclusions apply. See website for details.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I'm afraid that the base of our party is not getting what it needs from our leadership. And so after 3 successive rounds of really disappointing results, Tucker, I'm a member of the RNC, and no other member is stepping up to challenge leadership, and our current leadership has never been challenged for the chair job, and I think that challenge and competition is very good. And so I'm hoping to gain the support of grassroots Americans who do not like the direction of the party and its leadership. They need to contact the 168 members of the RNC in their states and territories and tell them that they too want change. And I think that change is popular among the base. I hear from thousands of Americans on a weekly basis about that. They want to see us fighting. Tucker, you know as well as anybody else that I'm a fighter.
Well, that's Harmeet Dillon, and she has decided that she's going to challenge Ronna McDaniel to be the chair of the Republican National Committee. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. I am watching. This is a time when this is normally taking place, so this is usual. But I'm curious how much you're paying attention to it. If you're somebody who is of the Republican persuasion, if you're somebody who's on the opposite side of the aisle and you care about these things, I refer to myself as a nerd. Maybe you'll join me in calling yourself that as well. This is nerd stuff. This is like, are you paying attention to the winter meetings going on in Florida right now? You're a baseball nerd. That's okay. I'm a baseball nerd. I don't know if I'm a baseball nerd at that level at this point. Just got too many other things going on, but I am paying attention to what's going on in the proverbial off season of politics. We are post-midterm election, 1 month post-midterm election, and Wiggins America is going to be about that at 12:45. He's going to talk to us about the most important race that happened in the midterms that nobody's talking about. So we're going to talk about it here at 12:45 on our show. Midterms are over. The Georgia runoff election is today. So in theory, we will know tonight who won that election. I hope. Oh my gosh, I hope. Herschel Walker, Raphael Warnock, 51 Democrats or 50 Democrats in the Senate. How will it shake out? We will finally know, hopefully, this evening. So then you get this few weeks, about 3 weeks or so, between the end of the election season, which was extended for a month due to the Georgia runoff, and when the new Congress is sworn in. That new Congress will have Republicans in charge in the House of Representatives. All sorts of political jockeying is going on while you're running around buying your Christmas presents and, preparing for Christmas parties and trying to figure out all the things you need to do to sufficiently prepare for the holiday season. This is when a lot of business is going down in intra-party. Do you care about that? Should we care about that? I'm questioning if I should care more about it. Harmeet Dillon wants to challenge Ronna McDaniel as the GOP chair. Do you feel like Ronna McDaniel has served the Republican Party well? I think that this is kind of one of those areas where a lot of people are so spent from the midterm election, so tired of the jockeying, we did a story just at the end of the show yesterday about a girl named Sarah in Seattle who was talking about how she had successfully detached from her family, and she was proud to spend her holidays home with a roast for herself, watching movies with her dog, because it's too painful to be around her family members in the holiday season because of political differences. So it's really difficult to look into party politics, not just like, American politics. Look into the political jockeying that goes on within the party and ask yourself, should I care about this? Should I invest in this? Do you feel like you are going to have an impact on it? One of the other intra-party competitions that's going on right now is who's going to be the Speaker of the House for the Republican majority come January. It is an incredibly big responsibility. If you think about the prominence and the prevalence of Nancy Pelosi over the course of the years that she has spent as Speaker, she really rules with an iron fist in her majority position. She sits behind the President of the United States during the State of the Union. She tears up the speech. After the speech that she didn't like and didn't approve of, she stands up and tears it in half. And you think she regrets that? I'd be curious. I wonder if she's capable of regrets. Who's going to be the Speaker of the House for the Republicans? And then the real question that matters to me is, what are they going to do about it? Do I look at Kevin McCarthy like he's the villain that many people within the party that oppose him are painting him out to be? Do I consider somebody like Andy Biggs, who has just come out today and said that he's challenging Kevin McCarthy for the speakership, and think, it'd be really great to have a fresh mind in here, fresh leadership, get somebody in there who can bring new ideas and new energy and a focus to the party to get things done in Congress. I don't look at Kevin McCarthy as the villain that other people do. I do wonder if he's going to be able to lead the Republican Party in the way that I want them to be led, which is to not finally get the majority in the House and then squander it because of Republicans who finally get power's incessant obsession with wanting to compromise and kind of walk in and to be the adults in the room where we can make everybody comfortable and cozy. And what they end up doing is they make Democrats who are in the minority comfortable and cozy because they throw them a bone a little bit, and then they tick off all of the people who decided to swap out Democrats for Republicans and hand the Republicans the majority. Does this stuff matter to you? I'm genuinely curious. You can go to the Annie Frey Show YouTube page right now and leave comments. Join the crowd of folks there, because today's YouTube live chat poll is, do you support Kevin McCarthy for Speaker? You got 3 options today: yes, no, or honestly don't care who is Speaker. Of course, any of those responses might require a little bit of context, so you can always leave a comment in the chat there and tell us why you voted the way you did. I wish more people would care about this, but boy, politics and campaigns and elections, they make it so hard. It is like training for a marathon. And the race finally gets here, and then they're like, oh, but there's a 5K. I don't want to do the 5K. I was upset about the marathon about the 4th mile in. The impact that the Republican majority under Andy Biggs' leadership, under Kevin McCarthy's leadership, under anybody's leadership, the impact that the Republican majority is going to have on the future of the Biden presidency is huge. It needs to be handled with respect. But I think that right now, while we are all in election fatigue and we are wanting to just sit out the system for a minute or two, the GOP is searching for its soul and trying to find what its guiding star is going to be for the next 2 years. And I think that it's important for people who are voters right now, Republicans, independents, moderates. I mean, in this regard, I'm not talking about the future of the country. I'm talking about the future of the Republican Party. When it comes to the future of the Republican Party, I care incredibly little what the Democrats have to say about it. I'm very interested in Democrat opinion on concerns that we have with the southern border. Tell me why you consider this to be an issue or to not be an issue. I'm very interested in hearing what Democrats think about impoverished communities. Maybe they're urban, maybe they're rural. Is this a problem? Do you identify this as a problem? So do I. Is there anywhere that we meet in the middle on this? Anywhere? Is there any even little infinitesimally small thing that we could meet in the middle on and make happen? Start there. When it comes to freedom of speech, what was it? Congressman Ro Khanna in the Twitter files was going, hey guys, this is looking pretty bad here. It looks a little bit like censorship. There's kind of a free speech concern that I have right here. And I know other Democrats and certainly many Republicans who are having the same concern, knowing that there are Democrats out there, and of course there are, who are openly concerned about the manipulation of information and the connection between our government and the systems who monitor and, in fact, control discussion in our country through social media and big tech. Is there bipartisan eyebrow raising going on over this issue? I guarantee you there is. Is there anybody who's willing to come together to tackle this issue and find any common ground? I'm interested in what Republicans and Democrats think about all of those things because I am interested in working across the aisle for things that we can agree upon to make this country better. It may be naive to think that that can happen, but I think that we have to continually hope that it can happen. But when it comes to the future of the Republican Party, Democrats, you get to sit this one out. For me to talk about Hakeem Jeffries as somebody who, previously questioned election results with Donald Trump, who was vocal about that back then, for me to have that opinion and be like, oh, but what about this? Democrats need to say, Annie, you're Republicans, sit this one out. The future of the Democratic Party, the soul of the Democratic Party, the heart of the Democratic Party is not up for Republicans to define. Republicans so often always are side-eyeing over to the Democrats to go, what are they saying about us now? What did they call us now? How could they call us that? And then what Republicans do is they come out and say that we're not like this, we're not like that. And you spend all of the time that you get an audience with the most important people in the equation, which, by the way, folks, is you. Republicans spend so much of that time defending against accusations that are being made towards them by Democrats. My media ethics class, when I was in college, one of the things that they talked about was, it's an ethics class. It's a media ethics class. I know you're laughing. It was a real class. I took it. It's actually, it was a philosophy-based class. And one of the questions that they talk about, the ethics behind, in an interview scenario, me interviewing somebody and saying, well, Joe, why is it that you beat your wife? And Joe's going to go, what are you talking about? I don't beat my wife. If we spend the next 5 minutes of that conversation talking about how Joe doesn't beat his wife, then people have heard 5 minutes of conversation that connects Joe to the possibility that he did or did not beat his wife. And I could make that accusation towards him and spend that time having a conversation where he vehemently denies it. He vehemently pushes back against it, but the conversation still exists in the air. And people who hear it consume it, and it becomes part of the fabric of what is out there in the world, what is out there for you to consume. The Democrats who have had power have been able to do this to Donald Trump since he campaigned the first time. As soon as he started to look like he was going to win the party and the primary, and first the media was obsessed with him. They loved him because he was a joke to them. I don't think the media even considered the fact that he was entirely serious about his run for the presidency. And then all of a sudden he started knocking one primary challenger off after the other, after the other, after the other. And then it was on. Remember when President Trump got elected? And which paper was it? The New York Times or the Washington Post says the impeachment process starts today? That was a promise. That wasn't a prediction. They push the information out on the left. They push it out, they push it out, they push it out. And then the conversation becomes the untamable beast that takes down their target in the end. The untamable beast is the idea that something exists that is so frightening that you got to keep your eye on it, because if you take your eye off of it, it's going to attack. It's not really there. And Republicans get swept into this to defend against it because the media is out there subsidizing the entire process. They can't do this if they don't have the media. They can't control the way we think, the way we talk, what we talk about, if we're allowed to talk about it, if the media doesn't play along, if they choose to not cover anything. Does that sound familiar? If they choose to only obsessively cover one thing. If they choose to air talking point after talking point after talking point of all the prominent Democrats on Capitol Hill saying this has all the markings of Russian disinformation. When you hear it over and over again, you're like, okay, guys, this is a little too much. I think you've jumped the shark here. Maybe mix up the talking points so it doesn't look entirely contrived. The Republicans have to stop being the response to the Democrat attacks. The Republicans have to start being something that obviously stands for the most American of principles. Beginning with number one, the First Amendment. That has to be the foundation for everything going forward. The First Amendment. And right after that First Amendment is the Second Amendment. Your right to bear arms shall not be infringed. It's an important one. And in the state of Illinois, there is a bill that has been presented that will be voted on in the new General Assembly that has a stronger supermajority of Democrats in the House and in the Senate that is going to take your Second Amendment rights away from you and criminalize lawful gun owners, people who have been law-abiding citizens, who love their country, who want to protect themselves and their families. They are going to work to criminalize you so that they can win a talking point on gun safety. And they're doing this hat in hand with the Safety Act, which is softening the Illinois approach on criminals. That is quite the 1-2 punch. When we return, Illinois State Representative Blaine Wilhour is going to talk to us about Illinois HB 5855. Remember those numbers, 5855. Say them out loud with me. Illinois HB 5855. Lean into this. Missouri, lean into this. The entire country, lean into this. Is it unconstitutional? I absolutely believe it is. Will Illinois have to suffer under these laws until the Supreme Court hears it? Very likely. Blaine gives us the lowdown when we come back. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet Store. Does it feel like someone is stabbing a knife into your heel? Does your lower back hurt more and more as the day goes on?
I had to go nonstop from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. Every time I stood up, pain just shot up my legs. Fortunately, I found the Good Feet Store. I went to them after my doctor diagnosed me with plantar fasciitis. Now, thanks to the Good Feet Store, I'm 100% pain-free.
Come to the Good Feet Store this holiday season and give the gift of pain relief to you and your loved ones.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborg's.
Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Flex spending and gift cards available. Some restrictions apply.
Water Sweets Soap Company. You need to check out their website, watersweetssoap.com. Promo code Annie. to save 10% when you check out. Also, if you go into the store at Water Sweet Soap Company, you are going to be able to mention the Annie Frey Show and get a special free gift with your purchase. I am in love with the products from Water Sweet Soap Company. The first reason why, they're a family-owned and operated business. Now, you might be able to go to some of the big soap stores around. You might be able to go to some of the chains that are popping up here, there, and everywhere. But when you shop at Water Sweet Soap Company or on watersweetsoap.com, you're shopping local. And this time of year, it is incredibly important to support those people who are right here doing amazing things and creating amazing products. All of their products are handmade in Highland, Illinois. Water Sweet Soap Company does not outsource any production or packaging. They are completely local. Each important step happens internally right in their own private facility. If you are looking for the very best in soaps, sugar scrubs, moisturizers, lip balms, bath bombs, shower bombs, they have all of it, and I highly, highly, highly recommend them for a gift for any loved one this holiday season. Save 10% by using promo code Annie at watersweetsoap.com.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
If you're retiring soon, join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. Avoid giving useless knickknacks this holiday season and look for durable items that will last for years. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Hi, my name is Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair. In honor of our newest location in Cottleville, for any new customers, simply come into any of our 6 locations and ask us to pay the first $50, and we will. That's right. That means brakes, suspension, alignments, air conditioning, even our auto body work. Please come see our team or visit us at CompleteAB.com. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules. Next Wednesday, December 14th, The Annie Frey Show is broadcasting live from Ruler Foods in St. Charles. Stop by and donate a few items in support of the St. Louis Area Food Bank. The Annie Frey Show at Ruler Foods in St. Charles. Next Wednesday, December 14th. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Used to spend my nights out.
Governor Pritzker said he's optimistic Illinois will be able to pass an assault-style weapons ban despite fierce opposition from groups like the NRA.
I believe we are in a position to overcome that obstacle and to get an assault weapons ban in our state. I certainly am pushing for it. I think we should have one on the federal level.
Over the past 10 years, more than 24 bills to ban assault weapons have been introduced in Springfield. None have passed. Some never even made it out of committee.
So there you have a report on Governor Pritzker and the state of Illinois' fervor for passing an assault weapons ban. It frustrates me that people in like local news reports will be like, and the NRA is opposed to it. No, Second Amendment supporting Illinois residents are opposed to it. And you could maybe start there instead of going with the biggest gun lobbyist in the country. You know who knows about this? Illinois State Representative Blaine Wilhour, representing the 107th District here in Southern Illinois. Blaine, this one is gross. And I'm so excited that you're coming on here to make sure that people know what's going on in the General Assembly.
Yeah, and it absolutely is. It's over the top. It's I think they call the tyranny of the majority. Yep. They're coming into a setup where they're going to have 78 out of 118 members, and the far left is emboldened after this election. It's a straight up gun grab. They're not even making any bones about it. This is the consequences of our people not getting engaged and involved at the level that we should be. There's 2 million gun owners in the state of Illinois. That's enough to win an election. So we need to, start exercising our right better.
Yeah, 100%. I'm talking about Illinois HB5855. I want you individuals out there who are hearing this on both sides of the river to understand what Illinois is doing, because this is going to have effect on more people than the state of Illinois. If Illinois is successful in doing this, there are going to be other people who are going to be trying to do similar things. It's called the Protect Illinois Communities Act. Blaine, go through with me, the highlighted points here because people, I've tweeted pretty much the first half of the whole bill in a 25-tweet thread that people can go to Annie Frey Show right now. I'll retweet it right now while we're talking and read the details. But give us the highlights. What are the main points that people who support the Second Amendment in the state of Illinois need to know?
Yeah, under this law, if you're in lawful possession of pretty much any semi-automatic handgun, rifle, shotgun, or any magazine that holds more than 10 rounds, after the effective date of this law, which is going to be an immediate effect, the way that this is written, anytime after January 1st, and when we're back in, you either got to register those into a gun base or you're a criminal. It eliminates the ability for anyone under the age of 21 to even get a FOID card unless they're an active member of the military. It outlaws any magazine holding more than 10 rounds from being made or sold or possessed. Creates a government gun registry for nearly every kind of semi-automatic weapon. And not only does it do this registry and require you to register if you're going to grandfather any of these semi-automatic weapons in, they're actually charging you to a fee to register on this. So those are the high points or the low points on what we're dealing with. Basically, it's a grab bag of everything that they've ever wanted to do. See, they do this stuff. They make it as broad as possible. They gobble up as much territory as possible, so they can come back and kind of clean it up and close loopholes basically in perpetuity on this. So this is really setting the stage for a massive gun grab in the state of Illinois and a massive violation of our Second Amendment rights.
That's absolutely correct. Illinois State Representative Blaine Wilhour of the 107th District in Southern Illinois talking with us right now. He's a member of the Illinois Freedom Caucus. You can check out their work as well, connect with them. I am looking at the words gun registry, making me very concerned. You also said, let's talk about what you just described there in a way that people who aren't into guns maybe can understand a little bit more, because it's kind of one of those things, you either know something about it or you probably don't know anything about it. When you're talking about semi-automatic weapons, that sounds really scary, Blaine. How many people have semi-automatic weapons? That sounds like something that could fire a lot of bullets at one time. A semi-automatic weapon, how common is that for anybody who is looking to protect themselves, or maybe is that more of a collector type of a gun?
Oh no, this is extremely common. 30-round magazines are extremely common. Any pistol has a clip of over 10 rounds is going to be outlawed. And there is a lot of common weapons. There's thousands of these out here that are going to basically make law-abiding gun owners potential criminals overnight. This is extremely consequential, extremely far-reaching.
So, Blaine, when we're talking about semi-automatic weapons, that is like the most common kind of handgun that people own. So that is going to encompass quite a few people. What happens? You said that you have to, if you have those types of weapons now, you're going to have to register them. So you're going to have to go through a process. When you register a gun, What does that look like? What kind of information and obviously money do you have to turn over to, like, what kind of permission slip do you have to get from the state of Illinois to do that?
Sure. I mean, we're still looking through this process and this legislation on exactly how it's going to be done, but it's probably something similar to the void card. You're going to have to register every firearm that you have. I mean, basically, it's going to be on a registry for the government to be able to see, and that's pretty scary. And this, you know, I don't think it can be stated enough. It's completely unconstitutional.
Yeah.
And you know, ultimately, that's our backstop on this deal. You know, they've overreached so far that you know, we're not interested in negotiating with these people on this stuff. They've got the numbers. They are going to pass this in the state of Illinois. They ran on this stuff and they won. So, you know, we're not going to sit down and negotiate to try to make this bad bill better. You know, at least I'm not. I'm not interested in negotiating someone else's constitutional rights away. You know, so we're going to poke holes in this. There's plenty of holes to poke into it. We're going to make sure that the people are informed and involved. And ultimately, the Illinois State Freedom Caucus is working with a lot of different groups and organizations that are going to challenge this in the court. We're going to be working to raise money to make sure that we can do that. And when we challenge this in the court, we're going to win. And not only are we going to win, I think that they're going to be surprised about the ground that they lose with this overreach. I firmly believe that we're going to get the Floyd card ruled unconstitutional too.
I'm so glad that you brought that up.
I think they went way too far.
Because listen, we're speaking with Blaine Wilhour right now. For people who live in Missouri, of constitutional carry, that's what it is. Pretty sure in Missouri, constitutional carry over here. So many other states are much more observant of the Second Amendment rights that we have as Americans that are from the Constitution, God-given rights. And I look at what Illinois is doing before any of this, before HB5855 comes into play. And there's massive constitutional questions surrounding requiring people to apply for a card that permits them to access their Second Amendment rights, that makes you pay for that takes a long time to actually get approved by it. There are many, many instances in the current laws that are taking place that are much more stringent than many other states, and we still have these shootings that have taken place around, the nationally attended ones that are the mass shootings. But look at Chicago; they are under the same gun laws that have been in place in Illinois that we have
more stringent.
Yes, they're even more stringent than the rest of the state of Illinois. So we're already in a position right now in Illinois where gun owners and Second Amendment rights are being infringed. Can this possibly be a blessing in disguise, like you were alluding to there, that I've heard that as soon as this is signed by the governor, there's going to be an injunction filed. They're going to work for a restraining order. What do you hope to have the natural chain of events be once they've passed it and it gets into the hands of the courts?
Oh, I mean, I think the rule all the elements of this, the under 21 stuff, clearly unconstitutional. Gun registry, clearly unconstitutional. Floyd card, clearly unconstitutional. I mean, obviously our hope would be to defeat something like this and have it never happen, because you never know what the courts are going to do. But I think there's some precedents that's been set by the Supreme Court and the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association against Bruin that definitely ruled in the gun owners' favor. And, once we get to federal court on this stuff, I think that's what's going to happen. But, we're certainly not taking anything for granted on this. But that's our reprieve at this point. People are just too prone to go along with this stuff, and this is the government that you get.
Yep, this is what we voted for. A lot of people listening right now, this isn't the government that they voted for, but there wasn't enough. We're a month away from the election. It was a disaster in the state of Illinois for freedom and for liberty. Tell me, Blaine, for the people who are listening right now who are hearing this about HB 5855, and they're incensed by it, and they want to take some action. We still have a lot of people who do care deeply about the state and want to fight for it. What can they do?
Yeah, like I mentioned before, the State Freedom Caucus, which I'm the vice chair on, we're going to be putting something together that is going to give you an opportunity to donate to a fund that's going to go directly to the organizations that are going to be fighting this in court. Obviously, that's the first step of this deal, and just hold your legislators accountable. And call these people up and express your opinion on it. File witness slips. I think that it's a foregone conclusion that this is going to pass in the House. I don't want to, disillusion anybody about that. But there's a lot of road ahead of us here, and
And the Democrats, in the House get to allow 11 Democrats to sit out, to not vote, or to vote no. There are going to be Democrats who are going to get to vote against this.
There could be 7, depending on when they run it. I mean, if they run it in the lame duck, they've got 73. They need 61. If they run it after January 11th, they've got 78. They need 61. So they can allow everybody to walk that's in a remotely rural district or a district that cares about this stuff. So we've got big problems.
And I'm a huge supporter of talking to your representative. And if they tell you that they're going to vote no, make them go publicly on the record saying that they're going to go no. If it's a Democrat who is voting against this, the people need to understand why the Democrats are opposed to it as much as why a Blaine Wilhour in the 107th district is opposed to it.
Absolutely.
Just like the Safety Act. Blaine, thank you so much for your time. Can you stick with us as this develops, and we'll reach back out to you and get the latest updates?
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you very much. Blaine Wilhour of the 107th District here in Southern Illinois in the House. One of the few Republicans that are there. It's a huge disappointment. I'm not gonna color it up for you. It's disappointing. Republicans need to do better. Maybe Illinois is lost. I don't know. I have people who are telling me that Illinois is lost that haven't been telling me that in the past, and it's disheartening. So I sit here thinking it is, 19 days till Christmas? It's the 6th, 19 days till Christmas. And I think right now I'm going to focus post-election on my family, on the Christmas season, and enjoy that. And then I want to get back to work very quickly once the new year starts. Would you join me? You have to let me know. Let's take a quick break. Wiggins America, when we come back, he's going to talk to us about the most important race in the midterms that actually went to the Republicans and why no one's talking about it. I don't even know what race he's going to discuss, so you're going to want to have to sit here. I'm going to obviously be here to hear which race Wiggins is going to talk to us about in Wiggins America when we come back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I'm Howard Mackler of GetRefunds.com. You may have heard me talk about the payroll tax refund program that gives businesses up to $26,000 for every employee they kept on payroll during COVID. But today, I'm not going to do the talking. I'm letting a real GetRefunds client tell you everything.
I'm Evan, owner of Laveau DWI Law. I heard about the payroll tax refund and GetRefunds.com on the radio. When COVID hit my business, everything shut down. Revenue, phone calls, all business. The new cost of operating during COVID hit hard too. I had to personally fund my business. GetRefunds.com got me approved for a payroll tax refund, and with that money allowed me to recoup losses and costs, even where I had positive income in the later quarters of COVID recovery. If you have a business, you should go to GetRefunds.com and start your claim right now.
GetRefunds.com helped their business, and we can help yours too. Go to GetRefunds.com and see if you qualify in just 8 minutes. GetRefunds.com, powered by Innovation Refunds.
So the Revwood Select and Plus flooring that you might have been seeking out for maybe a holiday purchase for yourself, for your family, go to igotfloor.com and see what Michael's Flooring Outlet has to offer you. We're talking about 10-year waterproof warranties, lifetime all-pet warranty. With the Revwood Plus, you get the Wet Protect waterproof wood, and the GenuEdge is steam cleanable. These are amazing products with the technological advancements that you need to have long long-lasting, beautiful-looking flooring. You get it at Michael's Flooring Outlet, which is a locally owned, family-operated business and has been here for going on 30 years. If you're looking for a place to save your money that you've worked hard for, to get great quality products and a really great customer service experience, you can go to Michael's Flooring Outlet, any one of their locations. All the details about how to contact them, their products, you can request an estimate, you can see sales that they're having. It's all available right there on their website, igotfloored.com. Check out what Michael's Flooring Outlet has to offer you and get your shopping process started today. They have carpet tile, hardwood, laminate, tile. It's all available on their website. Visit them at igotfloored.com.
This season, give the gift of Cardinals ticket packs. 5, 6, and 10 game packs are on sale now and feature 2023's highest demand games and promotional giveaways. Choose from the opening day pack, the t-shirt pack, bobblehead pack, and more. New for 2023, check out the swag pack. Give the gift that lasts all season, all baseball season. Cardinals ticket packs start at just $54 and are on sale now at cardinals.com/holiday.
This holiday season, check off your shopping list with Cardinals Baseball 2023. All-inclusive tickets start at just $59 and feature a full buffet, complimentary bar, plus a great view of the game. Choose from the Premium Legends Club, the UMB Champions Club, Proficient Red Jacket Club, National Car Rental Club. Give the gift of date nights, the gift of family time, the gift of Cardinals Baseball. Get your single game all-inclusive tickets now at cardinals.com/holiday.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to The Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
You've listened to 97.1 FM Talk. You've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend right here on 97.1 FM Talk. And you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gsl.honorflight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Fact-checking the mainstream media daily.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
You found it here. 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Appreciate you being with us. It's Tuesday and a little kind of bleak outside right now, but it looks like winter to me. Welcome back. We appreciate you being here. We just got done speaking with Blaine Wilhour. He is the Illinois State Representative for the 107th District, talking to us about the gun grab bill in Illinois, HB5855. You're going to want to learn about this. It doesn't matter if you're in Illinois or not, because this type of stuff is rubric for what happens next elsewhere. What can they get through? What can they make stick? What will be challenged and lost? What will be challenged and won? Learn about HB5855 and educate yourself, which is a phrase that I actually despise. But you should. You should still do it. Let's educate ourselves with a little Wiggins America.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! Darn right. It is a Tuesday feeling Tuesday, isn't it? Just look out the window. It feels like a December Tuesday.
Tuesday always feels like work.
It does. It does.
It's not like a bad thing.
It doesn't always look like this, though. It just looks bleak. It just looks like December Tuesday, early December. Not close enough to Christmas yet. So do you know what that Tuesday was?
I believe it was the election.
It was the midterm election. That's why I chose to do this topic today, because this was, in my opinion, the most important election that happened across the whole country on that Tuesday. Of course, today hopefully will be the end of the midterms with a Herschel Walker win. We'll see. But tell me if you've heard the name Tom Horn. Ever heard of that name, either one of you?
I need to know more information.
Okay. He's a Republican?
I think it's my neighbor.
Oh, gosh.
Well, then you could probably tell us more about this if he's your neighbor.
Depends on. I know a lot of things about Tom Horn.
Well, Tom Horn, I don't think is your neighbor.
Great Christmas lights.
Well, I think it may be a different guy then, because this is.
Well, you said you know Tom Horn, and I'm like, man, Tom Horn is a great bowler. Doesn't drink beer.
Really?
Loves tequila.
Really? You know a lot about Tom Horn.
People right now are rapidly flipping through phone books trying to find this Tom Horn of who you're speaking about, Annie.
Yeah, they want him on their team.
One of them's Ryan Wiggins.
Yeah.
Wait, a bowler with great Christmas lights who tequilas? Let's do that.
Best. I was on a bowling team twice. One was named Bowling Alley McBeal. The other one was Edgar Allan Bowl.
Gosh.
Did you name him?
Yeah, I did.
I'm going to hire you to name my next fantasy football team.
I will do that for you. All right. So Tom Horn, he's a Republican. He lives in Arizona, so I don't think he's your neighbor. He is.
It's my Arizona house.
Oh, that's your summer home.
I forgot to.
your winter home.
She's summers in Arizona. Yeah. Doesn't seem like a good idea.
The show always sounds so different when she's not here. He is poised to be Arizona's next superintendent of public education. Do you know why I'm saying
is this
that
a
this
quiz?
is?
Can you just tell us, or are you just trying to prove all the things that we don't know?
I'm slow rolling this out. It's a good segment when you do that, because people go, "Ooh, what's next? What's next?" So
I'm literally saying, "Get to it."
here are the reasons why he is the most important Republican elected in this election. First of all, in Arizona, he dives headfirst into social issues and education, i.e., race-based teaching and sexualized curriculum in public schools. He just beat Kathy Hoffman, who
I used to live next to her.
Other side
of Arizona.
Terrible Christmas lights. Not as good as bowling.
She didn't even celebrate Christmas.
She doesn't even drink.
Doesn't drink at all. Not even tequila. She was the incumbent in Arizona for public instruction superintendent. She lost to Tom Horn, and she was an advocate for stringent COVID policies. Now, those are all interesting things, but here's why he's the most important in the country. He is a school choice advocate. And with what looks like, now we'll see how these lawsuits play out in Arizona, what looks like you have a Democrat coming in, Katie Hobbs, going to be the governor of Arizona. Arizona has passed the first in the nation full school choice voucher program that is set to take effect pretty much now. Like January, it's going into effect. Now, with a Democrat stepping into the governorship, that she is against it, by the way. Katie Hobbs has said she wants to remove that, repeal it. She won't be able to, but we know that what a governor can do, even through executive order and just through pressure, is to reduce these things. With him there, though, with Tom Horn taking that role as superintendent of public instruction from a Democrat, he will be there to protect that voucher program insofar as he is able to do. And with a Republican-led legislature, there's not much that Katie Hobbs is going to be able to do to repeal that law. So, as somebody, myself, who believes that school choice may be the most important issue facing the next generations of Americans, this looks to me to be the most important election that a Republican won in the midterms, because he is going to be able to advocate for school choice in Arizona, the first statewide program to do that. Agree? Disagree? Am I being too specific here? I think that is a very, very important role, though.
I think it's a very important role, but I don't know if it's the most important role. I mean, I think that being able to watch Arizona and what happens with Arizona will give us an opportunity to watch and see what actually happens with the voucher program. You know, that's kind of the idea of the states. It's what do they call it? The laboratory of democracy.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
You get to see what happens. And while for many states it won't matter because, certain states, I think Illinois is one of them right now, they're so ingrained in their ideology that they'll never, move up away from it. It'll give people a chance to see, well, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? How did they execute this well? How did they not execute this well? Rather than it just being a theoretical argument. I think that's huge. And I think it's huge for the students that, because I'm a school choice advocate, I think it's huge for the students that are locked into failing schools to have an opportunity to go to a school that isn't a failing school. And it gives public schools motivation to get better.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that with this, because as you said, Brad, this isn't going to be perfect. This is a new program. Nothing's ever perfect when it's rolled out like this. There are going to be problems with this voucher program in Arizona. And with a Democrat governor, though, she's going to pounce on every single one of those problems. And they're going to try to make it known that this didn't work or whatever. But I think with a legislature and with this guy, Tom Horn, in charge of schools, he's going to be able to protect it from becoming a casualty when there is a problem. Because there will be a problem. It's just a matter of, will it survive? Because I really believe that this is, right now, it's not going to make much of a difference, especially for us in Illinois. But in a generation, if Arizona is that laboratory that's able to cultivate this thing and make it work, you're going to see more and more states adopting, maybe even like Missouri, adopting aspects of this, if not the whole thing. And man, over a generation or two, just like you said, you're going to see the way kids are educated change and get better, hopefully, with competition entering into this whole thing.
Do you still think Katie Hobbs should have debated Carrie Lake? Not like everybody should have to debate. Do you still think Katie Hobbs made a bad political decision?
Like strategically?
Yeah.
Now that looks like she's going to win? No.
She won.
Yeah, I mean, there's still going to be the lawsuits, but...
There are lawsuits that are still from a previous election.
Yeah. No, I think that she strategically did the right thing.
I hate everything about that being the truth.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
I
do too. I hate that that's true. But I mean,
also, you can't have debates that happen after early voting starts. You can't, there's no point in having a debate, Fetterman, when the votes that you needed have been cast, because people have been voting for a month. They do it in Illinois as well. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, Dakota Wood is going to join us. I'm going to ask him about the southern border, what kind of issue this is going to be going forward with a Republican majority in the House. Can they make a difference? And is the problem continuing to get worse? Dakota Wood with Heritage Foundation. When we come back.
'Tis the season to be jolly, and nothing makes me jollier than a clean home. And with the holidays right around the corner, it's time to get ready for friends and family. What better way to do that than Zero Res? Zero Res has a 4.9 rating on Google with over 4,200 reviews. They have the Zero Res 30-day gotta love it guarantee, and that makes it easy to get what you pay for. If you call Zero Res today and ask for the Mark Reardon KFTK special, you'll beat the holiday rush and get 3 rooms Zero Resified for just $119. That's a savings of $50. And don't forget the air ducts. This month, take $75 off when you get your air ducts Zero Res clean. Give the gift of clean this holiday season with Zero Res gift cards. Schedule your cleaning today by calling 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com, and be sure to ask for the Mark Reardon special. Zero Res. You spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res. And now is the best time to book Zero Res for your year-end office cleaning. It gets you ready to provide your employees and patrons with a clean and safe environment for 2023. Call Zero Res today, 314-474-2020.
Stewart's American Mortgage, he's the bagel loan guy. If you've heard of a 2-1 buy down, Stewie can help you with that. It helps people who are looking to sell their homes right now, needing to get that price dropped a little bit to make the house sell, but still get the asking price. Reach out to Stewie to talk about the 2-1 buy down. Realtors and sellers alike, you can partner with Stewie to get your house sold for the amount that you want to sell it for. And also, this is incredibly important. In the last 90 plus days, rates on mortgages had skyrocketed. They've come down, and then they came down again, which means if you got one of those mortgages because you had to go buy a house, you had to have a place to live, you had to secure a mortgage, or you needed to refinance and take the cash out to pay down some debt or to make an improvement on a home, you secured that high rate, you can refinance with the bagel loan, pay nothing in fees that everybody else out there is going to charge you for. It doesn't cost you anything with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. Reach out to him. It's a smart move. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Join Mosby Building Arts every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. on 97.1 FM. Rich Orse and guests give insider tips about renovations, design, construction, exteriors, and more. Tune in to Right at Home with Rich on Saturdays or catch the podcast online.
Hey, natural gas leaks can be very dangerous if you're not careful. If you smell the odor of natural gas, leave it to the professionals to track it down. Warn others and leave the building immediately. Make sure you call your gas company from another location.
A tip from your friends at Mango.
Hey, it's Annie, and I want you to participate in our December food drive with Ruler Foods. I'm so excited about this, but I need your help. This time of year can be especially difficult for those who are challenged to provide for their families. Your generous support of the St. Louis Area Food Bank will help provide nutritious food for our neighbors in need. You can find a list of the best items to donate by going to 971talk.com. You can pick these right up at Ruler Foods on West Clay Street in St. Charles, where the Annie Frey Show will be live December 14th from noon to 3 p.m. Can't wait to see you.
KFTK FM Florissant.
Driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group.
97.1 FM Talk.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A new border battle. Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden taking heat from Republican lawmakers and the Border Patrol Union for saying there's more important things going on, while answering questions earlier today about why he's not visiting the southern border while visiting Arizona to tour a computer chip plant. On his way there, spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre telling reporters on Air Force One.
He's been very clear that he wants to work on this.
She points to immigration reform proposals made when he first took office.
Why can't Republicans work with us in a bipartisan way to get immigration reform done? But what we've been seeing from them is political stunts.
A new bipartisan bill is a work in progress in the U.S. Senate. National Border Patrol Council President Brandon Judd says nothing is more important than the safety and security of the American people, accusing the president of caring more about politics. The House committee probing the Capitol riot does plan to recommend criminal prosecution, but the chairman, Mississippi Congressman Benny Thompson, won't say who they plan to refer to the Justice Department. He says they'll discuss details in a meeting today. The committee also plans to publish a final report by year's end. Earlier today at the Capitol, lawmakers paying tribute to the officers who defended them and the building from the rioters.
On the day democracy faced maximum danger, these public servants responded with maximum valor.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, as the Congressional Gold Medal was awarded to responders. Medals will be placed symbolically at 4 locations, including the Capitol Police and D.C. Police headquarters. A move to end the COVID vaccine mandate in the U.S. military will be added to an annual defense policy bill. Fox News also learning the bill would not reinstate service members discharged for not getting COVID shots, but it would ask the military to review those cases. America is listening to Fox News.
Yes, missed you this morning. Kim told me you weren't feeling well, so I'm just doing a self-care check.
Oh, thank you, friend.
How you doing?
Girl, listen, my energy was so low because I didn't eat breakfast when I got up, so I had to miss virtual yoga with y'all.
Trust me, I understand.
But I'm doing much better now that I've eaten, so I'm back on track.
Great. In that case, let's get some steps in tonight. I'll come over and we can walk around the lake.
Sounds good. Appreciate you being in my business, too. Now, let me get in yours. Did you check your blood pressure today?
I did that and my squats, okay?
Okay.
High blood pressure is not going to be my friend if I can help it. See you at 6?
Let's get it. See you then.
Now more than ever, it's important that we protect our hearts and the hearts of those we love. Check in on one another and be a part of a healthy blood pressure movement. Rally your squad to take the online pledge at releasethepressure.org. Brought to you by the Release the Pressure Coalition and the Ad Council.
Air Comfort Service, heating and cooling, weather.
Kind of gloomy around town on this Tuesday afternoon, mostly cloudy skies. There'll be some light rain from time to time. 48 degrees. Tonight, clouds, couple of showers, 42. Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sunshine, 52 for the high on Wednesday. Rain developing really late Wednesday night. Thursday night, wet, all in the form of rain. High temperature on Thursday, 55. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You found 97.1 FM Talk, where we ask questions, even when the legacy media won't. Especially when the legacy media won't.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
97.1 FM Talk.
Guys, 2022's been a roller coaster year, so spoil her this Christmas by giving her the next best thing to wearing nothing at all with soft, silky, naturally nude pajamas exclusively from Pajamagram. Sensuous and smooth, naturally nude pajamas feel just like her own bare skin, even more alluring than lingerie. The texture and touch of these pajamas is so seductive that you'll both love the feel of them. She'll love the feeling of wearing next to nothing at all, and you'll love the way they look. Best of all, Pajamagram does the wrapping for you with free gift packaging. Order today and Pajamagram will also include a free matching Naturally Nude nightie with the purchase of Naturally Nude pajamas. That is free gift packaging and a free Naturally Nude nightie when you order today. Just go to Pajamagram.com. It's fast, easy, and delivery by Christmas is guaranteed. That's Pajamagram.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm John Rooney. Do you have an old car that's taking up room in the driveway? Repairs are costly and selling is a hassle? That's why you should donate it to Goodwill. Donating is quick and towing is free. Plus, you get a tax receipt and 4 tickets to a Cardinals game next year, compliments of the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a win-win. For more information or to donate, visit online at mersgoodwill.org. Must mention Cardinals.
If you own a home in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is, without any inspections or the need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes, stlouis.com at 314-782-8000 and get your cash offer without any obligation, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant homes, inherited homes, fixer-uppers, beautiful homes, even the tenant who won't pay the rent apartment. Google us. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out our best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to our website, chrisbuyshomes.stlouis.com, or call Chris at 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000, and get the offer you've been waiting for. 314-782-8000.
Tony La Russa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with the winning run. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Santa's thinking fine jewelry from Shane Company. Are you? Visit us for gorgeous gifts starting under $300. Order online and get free express shipping.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
State and not visit the border. Because there's a more important thing going on. They're going to invest billions of dollars in a new enterprise.
So there you have the president of the United States saying there are more important things going on than the border crisis. That really should come as no shock to you, considering how much attention he pays to it. And then Karine Jean-Pierre was asked about his visiting the border, and she
Look,
did
we are
this.
committed to continuing to secure our borders while maintaining safe, orderly, and humane processing of migrants. That is something that we are committed to under this administration. This will remain the case with Title 42 when Title 42 is lifted. Any suggestions that we might be changing a policy or looking at a different policy is inaccurate at this time. I know there's been conversations about that. We haven't made no such decisions have been made yet. But again, we are committed to securing our border.
And then you have the fact that the White House has suggested that if the president were to visit the border, it would be a political stunt. We got to know what the experts think about this. Let's talk to our friend Dakota Wood. He's a senior research fellow for defense programs at the Heritage Foundation. Dakota, the president attending the southern border that is in crisis. Political stunt? What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Some of the statements like, the spokesperson there and all that. You remember back in Desert Storm in 91, Baghdad Bob, it was the Iraqi spokesman who said that the Iraqi military was winning even while there were American tanks driving through the streets of Baghdad. I mean, the statement had so little connection to any reality on the ground that it just became funny, right?
Yeah.
So for the president and the White House to say that our border is secure while every news outlet in the country shows people pouring across the border. Fentanyl is coming in, not in pounds, but in tons, thousands of pills at a time. Migrants are found in the scores in trucks coming across the border. I mean, it's laughable if it weren't so harmful to our country. So the whole thing is a political stunt to say that he has more important things to do than to actually pay a visit to our porous border where people are coming across unfettered and then taking advantage of America's generosity in terms of social services, access to medical care, schools, all that stuff that working Americans pay their taxes, and this is how it's being spent. I mean, it's just absolute nonsense.
Yeah, we're speaking with Dakota Wood with the Heritage Foundation. It actually, to me, is a political stunt not to go. I mean, he's very committed to pretending that there's no concern there. When Leslie Nielsen in front of the please disperse. There's like bombs going off and buildings blowing up in the background. Like you said, everybody knows what's going on here. He has to be making a counter decision politically that is worth the catastrophe of not addressing, and he has to value something else more than the cost of being seen there.
Well, it's short-term political wins with his support base, his constituency, right? Green New Energy deals and, the socialization of America, the cultural Marxism, call it whatever you want it. I mean, didn't he put his own vice president as the lead for border issues? And I don't think Harris has ever paid a visit to the border, so all these migrant shelters and, kids that are being, taken care of with cots and hot meals and those sorts of things all along the border, him not going, I don't know what the rationale is for that, right? That if you wanted a caring president who is concerned about the security of America, then the first thing he would want to do is go there, show that, he's kind of in command of things. He's personally aware of what's going on, and then make some kind of pledges, to fix this problem. But to not go and say we have no problem, that everything is secure, is just laughable.
Yeah, we're speaking with Dakota Wood with the Heritage Foundation. He's their senior research fellow for defense programs. Is the border issue the number one security issue that the United States has? There's so many things going on in the world right now.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, people talk about, climate change and national debt, the border crisis and all that. None of those would lead to the destruction of the United States, in an existential way. I'm more concerned about nuclear missiles coming out of, China or North Korea, our rapidly shrinking and aging military, where America needs access to markets. We have treaty obligations with others. I mean, there are big things that could bring about the end of our country, right? So drug cartels are horrible. Migrant crisis is horrible. I'm not saying that these aren't issues, but if you're asking about the number one thing plaguing the country, it's probably unrestrained national spending, that we're at, $31 trillion of national debt right now, which prevents us from doing other things we would need to do, and then stuff outside of our borders, right? Like, military threats, access to markets. The American people should be able to take care of domestic cultural sorts of issues. What do we value? How do we want our schools run? What's being taught in classrooms? The erosion of civic virtue. We should be able to handle that domestically. And I don't look to the president that, to address those sorts of problems, but only the federal branch can take care of things outside of our borders. And Congress can only take care of spending more, driving up national debt, than we're taking in revenue.
Speaking with Dakota Wood right now, I want to talk a little bit about, you talked about the nuclear threat that's out there. For civilians who hear these, that's a bad word to hear. When you're listening to the people who know the things, that are responsible for knowing the things that we won't know private in private citizen life, to know the tensions between the United States and China and Russia, and North Korea is popping off a missile every time. It seems like every weekend. I don't know if it's even more than that, but it seems as though the missiles keep coming. The attention keeps being sought after. Ukraine is still a question mark for a lot of people. Yeah. And then I haven't even mentioned like Iran and the nuclear accord with them. Where is the United States right now? How serious is the conversation about the potential for nuclear war?
Yeah, and it seems like a distraction. I mean, you're talking about a very important issue on the borders, and I bring up this nuclear thing. Most people kind of dismiss that as an artifact of the Cold War. But if it's such a useless thing, then why are so many countries investing in nuclear weapons? North Korea, most of the population is starving, and yet they have a nuclear inventory, right? China is tripling, 3x plus, the inventory of intercontinental ballistic missiles that they put in the ground. They've got nuclear-capable submarines. Russia has developed a nuclear-capable torpedo with the idea that you could put this in the water, goes to a coastline or a port city or something, and it's detonated. So we don't have the communications we had during the Cold War. There were supposed to be talks between the Russians and the Americans on strategic arms limitations, going forward. Those were called off by the Russians. They didn't want to discuss that. Iran has enriched a boatload of uranium to 60%. It's a short technological jump to 90% where you have weapons grade, and it's unfettered. I mean, it's unrestrained. And the only one actually doing something to physically prevent that are the Israelis, right? So can you imagine a state sponsor of terrorism like the Iranians, the mullahs in Tehran with nuclear weapons as well? So it's a very concerning thing, and this administration just doesn't seem to be paying it much attention.
So we have actors across the world who aren't necessarily interested in what's best for the United States. In fact, some of them invested in what's worse for the United States. Of course, we've heard a lot about TikTok with China and how nefarious that application can be used here in China. So we've got people across the globe who are looking to hurt and harm the United States. I want to go bring that conversation into our initial conversation and say, is the issue of those bad actors across the world and our open southern border, do those intersect?
The Border Patrol routinely finds people from third countries, meaning not Mexico or Latin America, but people coming in from the Middle East, from South Asia, other places. They know that they can get inside the United States for nefarious purposes through our open southern border. The fentanyl, the bad drugs coming in from Mexico, all the precursor chemicals used to make those come from China. So from the perspective of Beijing and Moscow and Tehran and Pyongyang and North Korea, anything that causes a problem for the United States is good for them, right? It ties our hands and distracts us and all these other sorts of things. So, to not have our southern border secure invites additional problems that then makes it more of a challenge to respond to things like raw military power, invasions of other countries, the expansion of nuclear capabilities abroad. So you're right, they are related, and ignoring the problem on our southern border feeds a larger perception that the United States is not in control of its own destiny.
Well, we appreciate you for being with us here at Dakota. Your expertise is always welcome, and we look forward to having you back again soon.
Thank you so much. God bless.
You as well. God bless you. Senior Research Fellow for the Defense Programs at the Heritage Foundation, Dakota Wood, talking there. I mean, Brad, when you listen to the White House say that it would be a political stunt for Joe Biden to show up at the southern border, I mean, it's his southern border.
It's his southern border.
It'd be like, I'm not going into the living room. It's his house. This is where he's in charge.
Well, it's like people forget, or they're willfully ignorant of what the role of the president is. And foreign policy is the president's thing. That's his business. Southern border, securing the borders, that's the president's thing. That's the United States thing. So stuff that happens on a federal level, this is the thing that the federal government is supposed to do, and that federal government is led by the president of the United States. So, no, it's not a political stunt to go down to the southern border, observe the situation, and then do your job. It's your job. Do your job.
Seems to me like if he wanted to assume that those were not his responsibilities, then the states would be empowered. And you look at what Governor Abbott has done in Texas. He's taken a lot of the powers on himself, everything that he can do, but you can't just protect the country's southern border in Texas.
Right. Well, and you had Governor Ducey building the wall, filling in the gaps with wall with containers, in which the federal government actively sued him to take those down.
Then the federal government got involved. It's like, wow. I just think, what political cojones these folks have to be that dedicated to, I guess, their base. Because if you look at what happened in Florida and the way that Governor DeSantis has really gained support from the Latino community, certainly a lot of Cubans, who have supported Marco Rubio specifically in Florida and also DeSantis. You see this diverse community in Florida shifting their support to Republican policies. What if, big what if, big naive what if the Latino community that has come here ends up not being so supportive of the Democrats, or at least this version of the Democrats in the end? That would really be something.
That would make my day.
Yeah, it would make a generation's day. Let's take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show right around the corner. We can talk about the Eric Schmidt lawsuit and how that fits in with the Twitter files. There's a lot of interesting things happening right now surrounding the attention that's been given to the Elon Musk Twitter files. How does that stitch in with what Eric Schmidt has been doing, the hard work that Eric Schmidt is the Attorney General of the state of Missouri, soon to be your fine senator for the state of Missouri? What's he been doing? What's he been getting done? We'll discuss it when we come back. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet store. Does it feel like someone is stabbing a knife into your heel? Does your lower back hurt more and more as the day goes on?
I had to go nonstop from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. Every time I stood up, pain just shot up my legs. Fortunately, I found the Good Feet store. I went to them after my doctor diagnosed me with plantar fasciitis. Now, thanks to the Good Feet store, I'm 100% pain-free.
Come to the Good Feet store this holiday season and give the gift of pain relief to you and your loved ones.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Deerbergs.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Flex spending and gift cards available. Some restrictions apply.
So I want to talk to you about Roadmap Technologies. They are a local firm that specializes in helping IT managers measure, manage, and reduce software and hardware costs. This is a great asset to have in your arsenal at your small business. Roadmap Technologies can be reached at 314-222-0057. That's 314-222-0057. I love speaking with these guys because as a veteran-owned business, they are really dedicated to serving, and they want to serve you, and they want to be able to help you with your IT needs. IT is incredibly important, but at the same time, it's kind of a different language. It's kind of like you do your best. It's almost like paying taxes. Like, I'm trying to do what I need to do here. I'm trying to comply, but it's so freaking complicated, and the repercussions of not doing it correctly they loom large. Have somebody on your team that can make sure that you are secure, literally, in your IT services, and that you're not overpaying for things and that you are up to date. Roadmap Technologies is the answer for you. Support this veteran-owned business by giving them a phone call and seeing if they can help you. 314-222-0057, roadmaptech.com.
The countdown is on. Ring in 2023 at New Year's Eve live at Ballpark Village. Pop the bottles and celebrate the best New Year's Eve party in town. Complete with premium all-inclusive drink packages from 8 until midnight. Access to 6 parties. Exclusive VIP upgrades. Live band and DJ. Kiss 2022 goodbye with a New York-style ball drop. Complimentary champagne toast, party favors, and celebration. For tickets and event details, head to stlballparkvillage.com/events.
'Tis the season to get blitzened. Tinsel Tavern has taken over Budweiser Brewhouse at Ballpark Village now through New Year's Day. Immerse yourself in this holiday pop-up bar decked to the halls, literally with floor-to-ceiling decor, featuring a festive food and drink menu that absolutely slays, multiple photo ops, holiday-themed events, and more. Reservations are open daily from 4 p.m. till midnight. For table reservations, check out stlballparkvillage.com.
Learn to make money 5 ways with rental real estate. Double your money with apartments. And get your map to financial freedom. And that map starts with a free workshop. Sign up now at lifestylesunlimited.com. Click on the Join Free Workshop tab and attend online or in person. That's lifestylesunlimited.com. Lifestylesunlimited.com. Again, that's lifestylesunlimited.com. Limited seating, unlimited potential.
It's the season's best year-end savings event at all 20 Bommarito locations. Low lease payments, special financing, zero money down, no payments for 90 days, and more for your trade. New vehicles, get the Bommarito nationwide warranty, 10 years, 200,000 miles. And Motor Trend certified vehicles, up to 100,000 miles, get the Motor Trend comprehensive nationwide warranty. Save on every vehicle at the season's best year-end savings event going on now at all Bommarito locations and 24/7 at bommarito.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Tuesday afternoon, the very latest on the Idaho murder case with Paul Morrow. Also, Kilmeade stops by for one more visit before he comes to St. Louis this Friday.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
You gotta keep them separated.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy to be with you. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. Eric Schmidt's been doing hard work. We've been covering all of his lawsuits that he's been engaging in quite regularly, and we're looking forward to having him back on the show to discuss it. But one of the things that he's been working on is this lawsuit that he has that is inquiring about big tech collusion with the government. Now, I think that the Twitter files are getting a ton of attention right now because it's Elon Musk, and it's on Twitter. I mean, it is Twitter. It's you go on Twitter and that's what it is. And everybody who is on Twitter, it's here. This is irony for you. It's very meta that on Twitter, the conversation is about Twitter. That's kind of meta too. Is that how this goes? Is this going in a repeat
Probably.
circle? Eric Schmidt has filed this lawsuit and he was trying to look into what kind of conversations are going on between our government overlords, my words, not his, probably, and big tech. And when you start to dip into what Eric Schmidt has been able to discover a little bit, you might raise your eyebrow and want to know more.
I think this is a story of the federal government with all of its vast power and authority colluding with some of the biggest companies in the history of the world to censor Americans, to put their thumb on the scale, as you said, of what's out there, what people can actually read and know about before an election. And it ought to scare the bejesus out of every American. I don't care what your political stripe is. I mean, this is out of some dystopian novel. And what we learned, we took the deposition of Elvis Chan, the FBI agent, last week. Well, here's what's very clear. The FBI had the Hunter Biden laptop story in 2019. They sat on it. They didn't do anything with it. They knew it wasn't hacked material. They knew it was legit. Miranda Devine of the New York Post said that they had access to her emails. They also knew when this story exactly was going to be published.
That's really interesting, isn't it? So while the majority of people are paying attention to the Twitter files and watching the slow roll of tweets in a massive thread go through what communications were taking place at Twitter, Eric Schmidt is deposing people in the government. And what they're discovering should be concerning to everybody.
Elvis Chan testified that they were having meetings, monthly meetings, including weekly meetings, telling them to be on the lookout for hacked and leaked materials. Yoel Roth, the integrity guy at Twitter, in a sworn affidavit said that in those meetings, they said there's going to be something, potentially something about Hunter Biden in that story. So you connect all these dots, and this was a backdoor way to affect censorship. They were also advising them on their what their hack and leak or their hack policy ought to be. And you also have the same guy, Jim Baker, who was general counsel of the FBI in 2016. And then general counsel of Twitter in the fall of 2020 is clear in those Elon Musk, that the Twitter files, he was the one saying put the brakes on this. So the FBI was very involved in it. And again, this is very concerning for our republic. We believe in free speech. We believe the First Amendment is the beating heart of the Constitution. And when you have the federal government and law enforcement acting in this way, it's shocking.
So we have the drama, the surface level drama is all centered around the 2020 election, right? The idea that somehow the president himself, Donald Trump, went and truthed on Truth Social the idea that, wow, this changes everything. He called for the suspension of rules and regulations that involves the Constitution. You can go look it up. People have their varying thoughts on that. I don't have a lot of time to be like, what he meant was, and then you fill in the blank there. He said what he said, so it would be consumed, and it was. And it raises eyebrows. Do I understand why Donald Trump is pissed? You better believe that I understand why Donald Trump has not gotten over this, why he's angry, why this is just, I mean, Brad, when you think about what we're finding out now, we've found this stuff out before about other issues to Donald Trump. It has been the entirety of his political existence is this type of crap, right?
Yeah. The whole thing, be it Russia collusion, be it now Twitter, being whatever it is, it's anybody who didn't like him putting their thumb on the scale in any way that they could to prevent or to hinder his presidency.
Was it the majority of people or was it just the loudest?
It doesn't have to be the majority.
Well, no, I mean, I'm talking about the idea that the majority of people felt this way about Donald Trump. That's not even the actual reality of the situation, because the people who are in positions of power with microphones, with congressional titles, with punditry in their back pocket, their abilities to communicate and be sought after, they all agreed on a narrative that was false, specifically tailored to hurt Donald Trump.
Right.
I would be miffed for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it's like to be screwed over and to have people lie about an existence, or I know people who have been the product of intentional deceit, pride, and stubbornness, and the result of that, you it's like you really want to see that be resolved in good triumph. It doesn't always happen.
Not in this life.
And the worst part about it is that the people surrounding those issues, the people who are sitting by and seeing this happen, and they're good people, and they know what they see is wrong, they're too weak to stand up. That's the worst part of it. You have high expectations for good people in your life who in the moment when they need to do what they need to do, they're weak.
Yeah.
It's very disappointing. And we're seeing right now more exposure of deceit. The deceit, people weren't trying to deceive. This wasn't directly done to Donald Trump. Donald Trump said this himself. This was done to you. What is being uncovered by Eric Schmidt, what is being released by Matt Taibbi and by, who's the other? Barry Weiss is also involved in it. Two very high profile journalists. Somebody from the Rolling Stones, and wasn't Barry Weiss in the New York Times?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not from Breitbart.
No.
No. And I don't care if you read Breitbart, but I just want you to know where these people are coming from. These aren't super far right-wing journalists who are going to be combing through these Twitter files. What we have discovered in the Twitter files is the conversations that have been released so far. Elon Musk continues to say more is coming. I'm sure there is. What has been released in the Twitter files is the discussions that were taking place within Twitter about how we keep this New York Post story out of the hands of readers, consumers, participants in Twitter. How do we keep this story, this New York Post article, off Twitter and do it in a way, essentially, that people will buy? How do we get through the window? They didn't say this specifically in what was released, but they had a deadline. It was the election. How do they pass through this amount of time and stick to a plan and have a concise plan? How do we justify what we're doing? So what they did was they decided what they were doing, and then they had to discuss how to justify what they're doing. That's always the backwards way of doing it. You have to observe a situation and make a decision, and then the justification happens before you make the action, not after you make the action. To me, the bigger concern for the American people here isn't how did this affect the 2020 election? And you might go, Annie, give me a break. What do you mean that's not the biggest concern? The biggest concern here is that there is a two-way street in private communication between our government, which includes our intelligence community, and big tech, A purposely driven narrative that has been signed on by big tech to control what you even get to hear. Because when you listen to Eric Schmidt talk about what the FBI, the intelligence community had, folks, they had the laptop in 2019. They had the laptop. They knew the contents of the laptop. They knew what they were. Ironic to me that they had it in 2019 and it wasn't a big issue then, that it leaked into the 2020 election. Yeah, you can't go into this now. Dad's going to run for president. This could affect the election. We wouldn't want that. No, what we wouldn't want is for it to affect his election, not the election. Big diff. Eric Schmidt is talking in his lawsuit, in these depositions, and he knows through whistleblowers that the FBI had the laptop in 2019, and they knew that the laptop was not hacked material. So they had it a year in advance. October 2020 is when this stuff was released by the New York Post, and it was written about by Miranda Devine. They also were monitoring Rudy Giuliani's communications. They had access to Rudy Giuliani's cloud. They could see his emails. And they knew that this laptop was going to come out right before the election. And since they knew the contents of the laptop, and they knew the political angle that was going to come from Rudy Giuliani, that this laptop was going to be revealed, they scooped the story with Twitter. And instead of telling Twitter, oh, this is going to be terrible for Joe Biden, we can't have this. This is the story's going to come out, and you got to make sure nobody reads it. They tell Twitter, hey, there's going to be some hacked and leaked information likely coming out that could affect the election about Hunter Biden. We need to keep a lookout for that and keep that from being spread around. Not defending Twitter. I have a lot of concerns with Twitter. But in that regard, if Twitter is being told by our intelligence agencies, who in a real nice, tidy world we're supposed to be able to trust, if they knew that this was going to be surfacing and they needed a couple of weeks just to keep this on the down low, if they tip Twitter off that there's going to be some hacked and leaked information coming out, it's going to try to be harmful to Joe Biden, it's going to be right before the election, you're going to want to keep your eye out on this. When it happens, which because the FBI knew it was going to happen because they were in Rudy Giuliani's cloud, when it happens, is it that far of a stretch? It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? That Twitter would see this and go, oh, well, here it is. We kind of knew this was going to come. We got to do something about it. That's a big problem.
The FBI knew that wasn't a hacked hard drive. They knew that was legit. They had that computer in their possession for a year, but laid the groundwork for months that this could be something that comes up in Roth, specifically Mitch's, in October. So again, they lay the groundwork for this to be censored material. And then when the issue comes up, and they know, by the way, the date in which, according to Miranda Devine, in which this is going to be published. So the groundwork had been laid, and Twitter did what Twitter did. And so now what's confounding the left is all these pieces of the puzzle now are coming together. And through our previous deposition of Anthony Fauci, through the discovery we've already gotten of the specific portal the government had with these big tech giants to censor Americans, banning people, deplatforming people, silencing people, big tech was doing the bidding of big government.
Big tech doing the bidding of big government. How much did big tech know in the process that they were doing the bidding of big government? How much did they not care? How many questions did they ask of big government? Did they ever tell big government to mind their own big business and take care of the matter themselves, and that they're a private company and that they don't need to be managed by the intelligence community and to, just say how high when told to jump? Breeds a lot of questions, doesn't it? Would it bother you if you found out that there was a story like this that was, it's easy to do the converse and to look at, if this were a story that were about Eric Trump or Don Jr., would the FBI, if everything was the same but the families were switched, would the FBI be reaching out to Twitter to preface the next coming days and say, this is going to come out and you need to be prepared for this? We believe this to be hacked. Would they have done that if it were the Trump family? If you're somebody who is the biggest Joe Biden supporter, and you love his policies, and you love the Democratic Party, God love you. Okay. You can't possibly think that they would have handled this the same way if it were Donald Trump's family than if it were Joe Biden's. Because with Donald Trump's family, all they would have had to do was literally nothing. All they would have had to do was keep quiet. And they would have known that the New York Times was going to release a story that was going to expose Don Jr. as being a prostitute, purchasing, drug-abusing alcoholic who was pretty much a screw-up for his entire life, who has all these problems. Oh, but wait, is traveling around the world trading on his dad's name to make the family more lucrative. The left has been trying to destroy the entire Trump family since before the 2016 election. To me, this is not primarily about how did this affect the 2020 election for one reason and one reason alone. There's no actual evidentiary provable way to quantify that. You can't say, if this wouldn't have happened, Donald Trump would have won, because you can't quantify that. You can't go into a courtroom and say, this is how this would have gone, and you know it, and I know it, and we all know it. Because maybe you know it, I know it, and we all know it, but you got to be able to prove it. What can be proven, though, is that there are people shilling for a political party or a political candidate, having conversations between the people who are in government and in our intelligence communities and the people who are in big tech, and they are controlling what Americans are able to consume and able to speak and able to share. And that is the most dangerous thing for the future of this country. Relitigating the 2020 election, I think that it's good to talk about it. I think it's good to look at Georgia and see, what did Georgia have in 2020? How have they improved since then? How have they improved their election system? We were just talking in the break about Florida's election system and how quickly they're able to turn around their results. How did they do it? Arizona, nudge, nudge, look over to Florida. Do that. Look at places that are getting their election systems on the straight and narrow. Start focusing on your local elections even more. Start paying attention to who's in your General Assembly in Jefferson City or in Springfield, Illinois, or wherever your capital is, and start paying attention to the people who actually control the elections, and that is at the state level. And make it so that your elections encourage as many people as possible to vote. You want as many people to come to the ballot box to cast their vote. It's an American thing to do. It's an American thing to support. But look at how other people are doing it successfully and wash, rinse, repeat. Pennsylvania, disaster. Arizona, disaster. These are places that need to clean it up. And going back to the 2020 election and just talking about the presidential election is not going to be fruitful. We do have to talk about 2024. We do have to talk about what happens between now and 2024. We do have to talk about how information is shared and conversed upon in this country. And right now, your First Amendment, if it hasn't been taken away from you already, it is under attack. Eric Schmidt is fighting for it. Elon Musk is fighting for it. And a lot of people are leaning into this issue right now because it is jaw-dropping. I mean, it should be jaw-dropping to understand the handshake agreements that have existed between entities that should have no business directing one another into how you get to live your life as a free citizen in this country and to exercise your First Amendment.
Yeah, this story should have been out there. There was no reason for this to be bottled up, and the FBI laid the groundwork. I mean, this was Elvis Chan's sworn deposition. He said that they were having monthly and weekly meetings. They knew the Hunter Biden laptop wasn't hacked material, and they specifically said, according to Twitter's integrity guy, Roth, that they mentioned the Hunter Biden story. I mean, that's nuts. And our federal law enforcement has no role in this. They shouldn't have anything to do with this. Government shouldn't be censoring people. Government shouldn't be telling these platforms what they can publish and what they can't publish. And also, an interesting tidbit here, Sean, that came out of that deposition was Elvis Chan in his deposition also believes that this was influenced by Democrat members of Congress and their staffers going to Silicon Valley saying that they need to affect their content moderation policy or else.
So that was Eric Schmidt's interview. It was with Sean Hannity last night, correct, Brad? Yep, Sean Hannity. If you want to watch the whole thing, great work done by Sean Hannity and Eric Schmidt. Continue on this path. We're going to get him on the show here shortly to discuss this issue, so we will let you know when we get him on the schedule. Let's take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show around the corner. The YouTube live chat poll for today. Do you support Kevin McCarthy for Speaker? Yes, no, or honestly, I don't even care who the Speaker is. You can go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel by going to youtube.com/@Annie Frey, F-R-E-Y. We'll be back in a second. Don't go away.
Separated.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
So I'm excited to talk to you about Slim 180 and how my Slim 180 is offering $180 off the nutritional guidance weight loss program through December 19th. Do a Slim 180 with $180 off. I have lost weight with Slim 180, and I have been able to keep that weight off. It's always been my go-to after I've had kiddos to finally shed the last extra weight. And I think COVID has actually kind of caused people to maybe put on a few extra pounds. I want you to think about January 1st, and when after the holidays are over, you are sitting there and you're thinking, man, I wish I would have lost weight. I wish I wouldn't be like this. You're making promises, you're making resolutions, and you're thinking, I got to get this weight off. Go to Slim 180 right now and talk to them about your plan. Save the money now and be ready for the new year. This is going to be an amazing experience for you when you sit down and you get their amazing guidance, their ability to talk to you about your triggers, about the things that have gotten you to the point where in weeks from now, you're going to start saying, this is the new me. And I'm so happy that I went to Slim 180. You can go to myslim180.com.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with Truehold. Truehold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want, and Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since Truehold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
97.1 FM Talk is embracing the spirit of giving to support SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. Please join us and donate to the Tree of Hope. Funds raised help the hospital offer programs not covered by insurance, but so necessary to a child's recovery. Most importantly, all children at Cardinal Glennon receive the best care regardless of their family's ability to pay. Thank you for supporting Cardinal Glennon. Please make your donations to the Tree of Hope today at 971talk.com/Cardinal Glennon or text the word HOPE to 20357.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling and Insulation Studio. Save up to $900 in utility rebates and see if you qualify for 0% financing on a new high-efficiency HVAC system. For details and to get into your comfort zone, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The voice for hardworking, free-thinking Americans.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
You're listening to 97.1 FM Talk.
I met a guy outside Bozeman. He liked drinking or smoking. It was fun till he asked we could keep things open. There was one in LA.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Some changing after all this heartbreaking. It's finally got me thinking I should try Jesus.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We appreciate you being here with us this afternoon. A reminder, you can stream us anywhere, anytime on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Download it, and you can rewind up to 24 hours from when you'll log into it. So give us a listen over there. You just go to the Odyssey app, follow 97.1 FM Talk, and you'll see the whole lineup right there. We've got an event coming up here, the food drive. It's going to be at Ruler Foods in St. Charles again. Are you excited about that?
I am so excited. If any of you guys remember, I cried last time. I was so happy.
The diaper drive?
Yes. The diaper drive was great. That's a great location out in St. Charles, and I can't wait to see everybody again and get some food to bring to the St. Louis Food Bank.
So it's Wednesday, December 14th. We are going to be at the Ruler Foods on West Clay Street in St. Charles. It's the same place we did the diaper drive. And we'll be out there from noon to 3. And all of the food that we're gathering that you are going to be donating is going to go to the St. Louis Area Food Bank. And you can go to 971talk.com/events and learn all about it. Brad, are you ready for another remote broadcast?
I'm always ready for another remote broadcast. They're like a unique beast, and they present a unique challenge, but I love the challenge, and it's fun. Once you get everything set up and you're ready to go, and then you go, and then we get to watch Brian freak out a little bit whenever we're not standing right by the mics.
He's our engineer, yeah.
I wonder if this one will be as cold as the golf one was.
Oh my gosh, which was at the end of April or May or something? It was not supposed to be cold then.
May, I still get goosebumps thinking about that day.
The St. Clair County Republican GOP event. Yeah, that was very cold. So, Hannah, you've been professionally in radio for how long?
Professionally? That sounds so serious.
You're professional.
A little over a year.
A little over a year.
Mm-hmm.
And you started regularly on our show?
I would say maybe January of last year.
January?
Yeah.
And then you graduated in May?
May, yep.
And that's when your schedule opened up and you were able to be here. You were doing 3 days a week or something?
Yeah.
When your school schedule allowed?
I would get off work, or I'd get off school at 10 and be here at 10:30.
Straight away.
Yep.
And then, Brad, your professional broadcasting career started?
September of 2021.
2021. And you did podcasts and stuff before, so you were very adept at the technological side of it. But when you go do a remote broadcast, it is kind of exhilarating in the sense you're so many things could go wrong at any time. And you're just sitting in front of a Ruler Foods going, well, guys, when we showed up to Ruler Foods last time and they were resurfacing the parking lot right in front of us. And this asphalt truck is there and it's just and it was right in front of where we set up. And it was what are we going to do? And it worked out fine. Mm-hmm. It all ended up working out fine. And
didn't have Wi-Fi.
We got everything. Everything ended up being fine. But the whole part of it that makes it worth it is that when we go out like this, two things get to happen. The first thing is we get to see you, which is super exciting to be able to see your faces. We met people last time that are chatting with us every day on the YouTube live chat. We met people that I've heard call into the show before. We met amazing people who are serving the community with Heroes Care. Man, that was amazing. And the second thing and the bigger thing and the reason why we're making this effort and why I've been speaking so highly of the 97.1 audience and the Annie Frey Show audience is because you are so supportive when it comes time to helping people in need. And this is an incredible time of year to be able to throw 10 extra bucks worth of canned goods or something in your grocery cart when you're at the store and to participate in a way that is truly going to help people who are here. Brad, we talk about big issues Huge, like the biggest issues, at least as we see them. And we talk about Republicans winning or Republicans losing and Democrats and Republicans and what they're all going to do. And when it comes to solutions, it's very easy to just be like, you have to elect a Republican so we can solve this problem. That's a very, very, very non-conservative thing to say.
This is a very easy thing to say, and that's a very lazy thing to say, to look to government to fix all the problems whenever we could come together and fix them as citizens. Like, so this is kind of a soliloquy, but I'm a small government person. I think less government is better. But whenever there's less government, that means that we as citizens have more responsibility as citizens. And if we do have compassion, if we do care about people, then we do need to do the things that we're seeing government do or expecting government to do. And we need to step up and do those things out of our own volition. And I think like whenever you start looking at food drives, diaper drives, these are practical, real world solutions to practical, real world problems that people are having. And we can do it. And we can do it without government intervention.
Yeah. And Ruler Foods was eager to partner with us again because it was such a great success last time with the diaper drive. And we partnered with Princess Storm with our sister station at Hot 104.1. She was the person who put together this amazing diaper drive. And we heard about it through D to the C. He's like, hey, you two women get together. Make it amazing. And we're like, if we can help Princess Storm, let's do that with the 97.1 audience. And it turned out to be a great success. And Ruler Foods was like, let's do something again. Who else can we help? And we were absolutely excited to do that. So this time we're looking to benefit the St. Louis area food bank. And truly with the economic times that we're going through right now, there's a lot of people who are seeking out food banks that have not sought them out before. And it's important to understand that when you're putting those groceries in your cart and the bill is, you're bracing yourself for the cost of inflation and how it's going to hit your personal checking account, that is also happening to other people. So if you have that hardship and you know that hardship, understand that is affecting other people too. And if you can still spare a little extra change to put some extra groceries in your cart, come to Ruler Foods that day and make your purchase there. Ruler Foods is an amazing place to get like Kroger Foods, Kroger brands at a great savings, and then donate it to the St. Louis Area Food Bank with partnership with Ruler Foods. Ryan, are you excited about it?
Super excited.
Super excited.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
No, seriously, I'm really excited. Yeah.
Well, I'll be there.
Last one was fun. This one's going to be fun. Looking forward to it.
Wednesday, December 14th, noon to 3, live broadcast in front of the West Clay Street, St. Charles, Ruler Foods. See you there. Let's stick around. The 2 o'clock on the Annie Frey Show coming up next.
My son Finn was born with congenital heart disease. He ended up spending about the first 8 months of his life in the hospital. During that time, he endured 10 surgeries, including an open heart surgery. Starlight Children's Foundation has played an important role in my family's life. For 5 weeks when he was a baby, Finn lived in a Starlight Hero wagon. You could not understand the pure joy of having him go from a hospital bed into his favorite red wagon. Starlight doesn't just give items that hospitalized kids can use to keep themselves happy, but also memories, moments, and experiences which are so needed in times like these. They allow sick kids to just be kids for a little while. The support that Starlight provides to families like mine is an integral part to creating happiness at a time when there's very little to be found. Learn more about how Starlight Children's Foundation brightens the lives of sick kids by visiting starlight.org today.
Let me explain the process by which these sleep apnea mouth guards work, because I talk about them a lot and I say they're really going to help you, but here's how they work. When you get one, it's fitted to your mouth, so it's not just this generic thing. It's very, very comfortable. You put it in, and I'd say maybe 3 months, I just turn it a little bitty bit to give me a better night's sleep, because your jaw gets relaxed. See, that's what sleep apnea is your jaw gets relaxed, and you need this mouth guard from Fountains Family Dentistry to help you sleep better. And then every couple months, again, you can just turn it just a little bit because your jaw has gotten used to that position, and it goes right back. And I'm telling you, after 5 hours, you're going, oh my gosh, I don't need sleep anymore. It's really amazing. Go to Fountains Family Dentistry. They will tell you all about it in much more detail than I can tell you in 1 minute. and they will tell you how much it costs. It's a lot more reasonable than you'd think, especially when you have insurance, because sleep apnea is covered. So go to fountainsfamilydentistry.com. That's where you can set an appointment, fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
KFTK FM Florissant.
Driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group.
97.1 FM Talk.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The special counsel gets down to business. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Longtime prosecutor Jack Smith, who's now overseeing Trump-related investigations, issues his first known subpoenas, asking county officials in Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona, and Pennsylvania for communications with or involving the former president, his campaign aides, and a list of allies involved in efforts to overturn 2020 election results. Smith is overseeing the handling of classified documents at Trump's Florida estate and a separate Justice Department probe stemming from the Capitol riot. Police officers who defended the Capitol are being honored with the highest tribute possible from lawmakers, the Congressional Gold Medal.
Thank you for having our backs. Thank you for saving our country. Thank you for being not just our friends, but our heroes.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell during a bipartisan ceremony earlier today. Medals will be placed at 4 locations, including Capitol Police Headquarters and the Metropolitan Police Department in D.C. Time's running out for voters in Georgia, where a Senate runoff is being decided today.
It was raining in parts of Georgia this morning, and there were reports of some lines forming even before the polls opened, like at the Metropolitan Library in southwest Atlanta. Democratic incumbent Senator Raphael Warnock posted this video on this election day.
Rain is not an excuse to not vote. Rain is not an excuse to not show up.
The Republican candidate Herschel Walker retweeted this video of Governor Brian Kemp, also out in the rain.
We got to have a big turnout today to win this thing. Let's get it done and send someone like Herschel to the United States Senate that is going to fight for us.
Both sides stress that turnout is critical after 1.8 million people participated in early voting last week.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The polls close 4 hours from now at 7 Eastern. America is listening to Fox News.
Miss, missed you this morning. Kim told me you weren't feeling well, so I'm just doing a self-care check.
Oh, thank you, friend.
How you doing?
Girl, listen, my energy was so low because I didn't eat breakfast when I got up, so I had to miss virtual yoga with y'all.
Trust me, I understand.
But I'm doing much better now that I've eaten, so I'm back on track.
Great. In that case, let's get some steps in tonight. I'll come over and we can walk around the lake.
Sounds good. Appreciate you being in my business, too. Now, let me get in yours. Did you check your blood pressure today?
I did that and my squats, okay?
Okay.
High blood pressure is not going to be my friend if I can help it. See you at 6?
Let's get it. See you then.
Now more than ever, it's important that we protect our hearts and the hearts of those we love. Check in on one another and be a part of a healthy blood pressure movement. Rally your squad to take the online pledge at releasethepressure.org. Brought to you by the Release the Pressure Coalition and the Ad Council.
Air Comfort Service, heating and cooling, weather.
Kind of gloomy around town on this Tuesday afternoon, mostly cloudy skies. There'll be some light rain from time to time. 48 degrees. Tonight, clouds, couple of showers, 42. Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sunshine, 52 for the high on Wednesday. Rain developing really late Wednesday night. Thursday night, wet, all in the form of rain. High temperature on Thursday, 55. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well,
Trying to find a needle in a haystack? Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
The federal government is hiring 87,000 new IRS enforcement agents. Make no mistake, with spending out of control, they're looking to collect revenue. The first target will be you. If you have not paid your taxes or filed them in years, let me help you get that target off your back. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm here in St. Louis. So if you have unfiled returns, wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, now's the time to call the Lance Drury Law Firm before the IRS calls you. Your consultation is free, so don't put it off. The Lance Drury Law Firm focuses solely on tax resolution law. It's all we do. And if you have IRS problems, you have legal problems. Let us use our tax law resolution experience to guide you and work on your custom resolution plan. Call now. It's free and confidential. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120 or go to LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, it's Annie, and I want you to participate in our December food drive with Ruler Foods. I'm so excited about this, but I need your help. This time of year can be especially difficult for those who are challenged to provide for their families. Your generous support of the St. Louis Area Food Bank will help provide nutritious food for our neighbors in need. You can find a list of the best items to donate by going to 971talk.com. You can pick these right up at Ruler Foods on West Clay Street in St. Charles, where the Annie Frey Show will be live December 14th from noon to 3 p.m. Can't wait to see you.
Becco's new dishwashers use 1/3 the energy and half the water of U.S. standards for dishwashers. And from now until December 31st, you can save up to $200 in gift card rebates on eligible models. Visit Becco.com for more details. That's Becco.com.
Join us at Odyssey as we do our one thing. Together, millions of things for our planet. This holiday season, invest in some LED Christmas lights. They use significantly less energy than regular bulbs. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Free speech has a home. 97.1 FM Talk.
Your home for conservative talk.
One of the only places where conservative ideas aren't shut out of the conversation.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're just talking a little bit in the last segment about our Ruler Foods canned food drive. It's not just a canned food drive. You can bring all sorts of different products. You can get those products at Ruler Foods. We'll be there December 14th, noon to 3. I need to keep reminding you of that because we need it to be a huge, huge, huge success. I think that there are other food drives going on in this building. There are a lot of ways that you can help. Odyssey has really stepped up this December. The Glover Show is doing their Hardee's thing.
Yep,
Still,
as usual.
What else is going on? Do you know?
Well, it's on our website, those are the two main ones, is our Ruler Foods drive and then the DGS's Hardee's drive. So I think adding our drive, the Ruler Foods one, to the total, because they always do pretty good with the Hardee's drive.
Oh, they do great, yeah.
But adding to it, because they're kind of not associated with 97.1 as much as they used to be. I think that'll fill in the gap a lot because 97.1 did a lot of great work for the last few years. And I hope that this is us sort of stepping into that in a time that you mentioned economically the people at the bottom of the ladder, they're suffering the worst. Food banks are in need more than they used to be. So it's a good time to be stepping into that gap.
Isn't it difficult when you're shopping? And Brian really dropped a bomb on us here in the break. And he said he prefers these.
I said I like Ruler, and you guys were like, "Oh, surprise!"
Oh, yes, and Aldi. You said Ruler and Aldi and all that.
Yeah.
But Ruler Foods is owned by Kroger, and they have Kroger brands and stuff. And you go into a Ruler, and you get to save money without doing all the coupon clipping and stuff. Isn't that so? People, let's just set aside this conversation. We're gonna put it right over here for a second, and we're gonna have a different conversation. We're gonna go back to that in a second. You can't do it. No, that's not what I did.
I don't know. It's all around it.
If you just tuned into the show.
Well, food drive, and they're making poppy noises.
No, you just tune in and then just... Like, this is what conservative talk radio
St.
is
Louis is
devolved
home
into.
for conservative talk.
It's like pop-up video. That's what we should do. D to the C, don't stand in the studio and judge us for what we're doing right now.
Now, hang on.
He's
D
the
to the
guy.
C, if you're listening right now, Manny just said pop-up video.
Wait, I'm gonna hold on.
Okay, go ahead. Finish.
No. I'm gonna take a picture of what this looks like from
Yeah,
my angle.
it's creepy.
It's all right. Come in. You can talk to us about this. What? Whoa.
D. Tell me that this is not the most interesting programming that has ever been made.
It's not the
Pop-up
most
video.
Oh, I thought you meant our show.
No, no, not at all. Pop-up video, but on old Sanford and Son episodes. I actually did a week of that during sweeps when I was at UPN, and it was fantastic.
I cannot overemphasize how small of an audience you're talking to right now.
Yeah, I am so lost.
It wasn't even new
I wish
then.
if you told me that, I'd send John the instrumental. He could just played it right now.
I'm sitting here and I'm trying to stitch together our Ruler Foods promotion and to talk about inflation and grocery stores. And he's like, but that one time at UPN with Sanford and
You
Sons.
said pop-up video. The problem is you went, let's put that aside for a second.
And yes.
And then we went on that.
And there was more because I was setting it aside. I wasn't really, I care about you, but I wasn't really doing it for you.
Well, now that we've set that aside, because clearly we set that aside, and we did not talk about it for the last
Still
4
sitting
minutes.
there. It's
still sitting
getting
there.
dusty.
Now where were we going from setting that aside?
You ever shop at Ruler Foods, D?
I do.
Go ahead.
Our Mary Tillman, who's on Sunday mornings on our sister station 96.3, used to work for Ruler Foods, but is a subsidiary called from Kroger.
Yes.
Yeah, we were just talking about
and so, but I think that like in a time like now where money is tight for everybody because of the cost of everything going up, supply chain issues causing trouble, I do think that out of a pandemic, we were going to have some level of this no matter what. There's going to have to be some, like the ship is going to rock back and forth a little bit before it steadies itself. Yep. I think that politically we've made some really bad decisions that have caused it to be worse than it needed to be. But if you're going to the grocery store right now, Ryan, and you are looking at your total bill and you're seeing, we had my family over for brunch after church on Sunday, and my husband bought eggs, and he spent like $5 or $6 on eggs. And he didn't get, he was shocked by it. He doesn't really comment on those things, but he's like, can you believe this? It would make it hard, D, if you're doing that to say, this is costing so much. It's going to be hard for me to spare the extra change to donate to a place like our food drive on Wednesday at Ruler Foods, the 14th.
And that was why I came in here.
It makes it harder to donate, which means that more people are going to be needing to access those food banks, and less people are going to feel comfortable donating. That is a really bad equalization of issues that could affect a lot of people.
That is true. Times are hard, but I will say, look, I heard you say the date, and I had to come in here. That's on a Wednesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be there.
You are?
I'm going to bring the full gear setup and everything. I'll be there.
You want to DJ our breaks?
I will be there.
That's exciting.
Yay! That is super cool. So you can meet D to the C also, and Ryan Wiggins.
And we could meet for the first time, me and you, D. When you DJ, do you hold your hand up to your ear and close your eyes and go wick 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 wick? Do you do that, or is that a fake thing?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bury him. Send me to the dairy farm.
I love that. Thank you for volunteering to do that.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Ryan will pay your talent fee.
I am not going to hold my breath.
Name your price.
What's the thing, Ryan, that you've noticed the most? Like, what is the sticker shock? Or maybe what have you said? I'm not buying this right now. I'm putting this off.
Well, first of all, believe it or not, I actually sometimes buy health food items. Health food items.
What do you do with them after you buy them?
I just throw them in the garbage. I just buy them for the look of it.
It's a public service thing.
I saw a meme on
Nobody needs to
Facebook
eat
that
this.
says it's time for me to go to the store and buy a bag of mixed greens so I can throw it in the in the garbage can in 2 weeks.
What? You better put that bad boy in a pot.
Well, yeah, you would.
Of course.
Most people buy it. They like have all these really great intentions.
But that stuff is premium food. It costs more.
Fresh.
You can't get it everywhere. I mean, there's no Trader Joe's on our side of the river, you know? So that stuff, even at Trader Joe's, it costs a little bit more to buy the premium stuff. So I just am having a harder time eating healthier. I mean, I know it's really surprised to hear this.
No, this is I mean, in a real world perspective, healthier food is expensive.
Exactly.
And then when everything isn't more expensive, it's still more expensive.
Yes. And so I think there are a lot of people like, and it's not that I buy all health food, but there are certain things I like to buy, gluten-free pizzas and things like that I've had to decide, well, am I or not? And I think that's a lot of people have those things that they buy that they've had to decide, is this important enough to my diet that I'm actually going to still spend on it?
Green food?
Not usually. Mostly it's still brown.
Yesterday he brought in, I'm not even joking, spicy mango candy.
It was for you all. How did you like it?
I didn't eat it.
I didn't end up trying it. You gave me one to try, and I got scared, so I didn't try it.
I tried 2 of them. They were good.
How much did the spicy mango gummy candy cost you?
Oh, $2 or $3.
That's a head of lettuce.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you're making decisions.
That was on vacation. That was my vacation gift to you.
Yeah.
That you did not partake in.
You didn't tell us it was
I did. I mentioned it, but I think that you didn't care about what I was saying at the time.
Ryan.
It was my gift to you.
I think you had the bag open in your hand as
the
if your
3 of
hand
us.
had been in there multiple
One bag.
times. And then you said, "Here, eat these mango spicy candies."
Right before we went on.
And it was literally before the mic was going to go over. It's like, I don't think I'm going to do that right now.
I was about to eat mine, and Ryan was like, "Don't eat that before you go on air."
Yeah,
And I was like,
I put one in my mouth and I realized, ooh, that's spicy.
It was not spicy.
Dee, when you go to the grocery store, you love to cook. You've talked to us many times about cooking. Of
course.
Are you the person
We're cooking
who
tonight.
What are you cooking?
Chicken and dumplings.
Ooh, my husband makes great chicken and dumplings.
Mhm.
We have to have a
Winter food, too.
compare, a chicken and dumpling off. Do you do the shopping, the grocery shopping?
Most of the time.
So do you, you can kind of monitor prices and go, whoa.
Oh, I have to.
So what have you noticed, what is the thing that you've noticed when you're shopping that has stuck out to you?
Well, we already talked about eggs, but I was the price of meat, period, just like, I don't know. I was looking at, I was like, do I really want to do hamburgers or not,
Yeah. Well, and protein, I mean, we're talking about, Ryan's talking about produce, like vegetables and health foods that way. Protein is important to the diet. I mean, what do you end up doing? Buying ramen and generic mac and cheese, and that's terrible for you.
Yeah, you can't do that forever.
No.
You can do it for
you
a short
can't.
time, but
You can do it in your 20s.
and you can do it
For yourself.
in eras of life.
But not for
No, at my age,
growing
no,
children.
that's out.
Or health issues, for sure.
That is out.
You know what other is a weird item that I, for some reason, at the very beginning of this whole thing, I started paying close attention to, because I used to be able to get Jack's Pizza every Friday night in the Wiggins household.
Jack's Pizza is one thing that I pay attention to
Right?
price to. Because you used to be able to get them for maybe even $1.98.
Yes, I was going to say, it was $2 for a Jack's Pizza, and we get 2 of them. Wiggins household Friday nights was pizza night and a movie with the kids. So we get a couple
And
of
you
Jack's
sprung
Pizzas.
for Jack's Pizzas on pizza night with
Well,
the
they
kids?
love them. They just love the thin crust pizzas.
My kids will prefer Jack's too.
Yeah. And
you're like, okay.
you get really twisting my arm here, guys. But yeah, they used to be $2. Those are now $3.50.
Yeah.
That's at the cheap stores. That's not even at expensive places. So watching the price of those going up has kind of been an indicator for people say they watch bananas or they watch milk, but Jack's Pizzas for some reason have been the ones that I've watched the closest.
Also, dramatically shocking news.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
And I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm right there with you. Brad, you don't do the grocery shopping, right?
I don't do the grocery
Is there
shopping.
anything in your purchasing experience, though, that you've noticed?
I don't even see my paychecks.
Wait, what?
There's Brad who knows literally nothing, and then on the other end of the spectrum, Ryan who gives his wife an allowance.
Like the area that
Brad,
that
didn't
I've
you say
noticed
you get an allowance?
Yeah, I get an allowance.
Oh, you're the Katie in your household.
Yeah.
Every household has a Katie. Mine
I've
happens to
noticed
be
it
named
in the
Katie.
price of things like that go in your car.
Gas, obviously.
Gas, motor oil itself is way expensive now. Do you remember the blue water that you dump in for your windshield wiper fluid?
No, I don't do that.
All that stuff?
Yep.
It used to be like 99 cents a gallon. It's like $6 a gallon.
Woo!
Now, that's not like over the past year, but it was probably $1.50 at the beginning of the year.
So what do you make of gas being, I think it's $2.94 at the gas station that I normally go purchase gas at right here, and it's right across the river, right across Tucker. It's $2.94. That's not going to be the cheapest gas around here. I know that when I say, oh, it was down to $2.94, y'all in St. Charles are like, it's 7 cents over here. And I'm like, I'm not driving out to St. Charles.
They pay us to fill up.
Yeah, no kidding.
We'll be there next Wednesday to fill up, though.
I probably will. That's
I
right.
will.
Mark
I
that
did
on my
last
calendar.
time.
So did I. Gas being down. I mean, this is a huge Joe Biden victory, right in time for the holidays.
I don't know what to make of this because it has been him depleting the strategic oil reserves. It may still be that because he did it up until the election, and I'm sure this is still ramifications from that. But I have a feeling that we're going to see a spike in about a week.
Well, the thing is
Travel.
like it's supply and demand. So yeah, you're going to see a spike. But if the economy is slowing down, like
That too,
some
yeah.
economists are saying, you're going to see gas prices start coming down because the demand comes down because
Is
people
it
just
good if the economy is slowing down?
It seems to be
It's
the
good
only
for
way.
inflation.
It's the only way to get inflation under control. And it's horrible that it has come to that.
If the economy slows down, what are the ramifications of that?
Everything. Everybody suffers. It's weird because we've been suffering in one way, and then the poison pill is the cure for the poison pill. You know, it's you're going to slow everything down and hurt everybody in a different way to get inflation under control. So it's people not understanding the economy, running the economy, and then continuing to just, release the bees to get rid of the wasps.
It's intellectually dishonest for gas prices to be high and be like, Joe Biden sucks, and then for gas prices to go low and to not, if you feel like Joe Biden sucks because you put $4 gas in your car, when it goes down to $2.75, unless there's so much context to why gas is $4 that you can't just surface level be like, the president is awful because I put $4 gas in my car. The president is not awful because gas is $4 a gallon. There could be good reasons why gas is expensive. There could be bad reasons why gas is expensive. There could be good reasons why gas is cheap. There could be bad reasons why gas is cheap. It's the context that goes into it, which is complicated, which is why nobody really talks about it. So when gas is expensive, I've said that before. On this show, I've criticized the president for gas being expensive, but it's because he doesn't want to produce our own energy in this country. And we absolutely have the ability to do that. We're encouraging gas production, gasoline, oil drilling in all these other countries, but we're not doing it here. And that has repercussions down the line. I mean, it's... I'm not going to say that analogy, but it's you can solve problems, surface level problems that you see with your eyes, and say, ooh, this is a real problem. There are lots of unhealthy solutions for those problems that could get you on the surface to where that problem, the visible problem to you, is not the same as it was before. It looks like it's gotten better, but how did you get to that? I'll use this analogy. Your bank account could be super low, but you could rob a bank to make your bank account be where it needs to be. That's not a healthy solution. But if you're just looking at, oh, my bank account is in big, big trouble, I have a lot of debt, and then all of a sudden, I don't have this problem anymore. How'd you get from point A to point B? And people need to pay attention to how we are getting from point A to point B. I'm glad the gas is coming down, and I do want to acknowledge that it is coming down under the same president who it is still above where it was when he took office. But at the same time, what has he been doing in the process to get along with it? He himself, and it's the same thing with the stock market. Trump would do this too. Like, your 401ks have never been better, but if it would go down, we weren't talking about it then. And it's not as simple as claiming it when it looks good and avoiding it when it looks bad. Both parties do it.
Absolutely. But normally with energy production, it takes longer for that to affect the gas price than just Joe Biden. But he on day one, let's cancel the Keystone XL, all these things.
Yeah, it was a top priority for him.
Usually that, though, takes longer to take effect on the gas prices. But we had so many things, including that, taking place at one time, including worker shortages, including the pandemic kind of economy trying to get back going. All these things happened at the same time were bad, and then he exacerbated it.
The thing to remember is that oil's on a speculative.
What did he do to it?
Exacerbated.
Oh,
that's a good word, Ryan.
Thank you. It's a real one. Look it up.
I know it is. I use it. It's a $10 word, and I appreciate that.
You even said it right the first time.
Yeah.
Which when I decide to go out on that limb, sometimes I don't stick the landing. I'm like, should have gone with the $5 word. But you did a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's just end there.
So my thing is this, is that oil's on the speculative market. So even Biden's rhetoric leading up to his election plays a role, because then oil companies look at that and they say he's been talking about there will be no new drilling. You can go and look videos of this stuff. He's still saying it to places. There's no new drilling. While on the other hand, he's like, well, what about these leases that they're not using? It's like, well, are you approving the other permits that are involved in it? There's all sorts of rhetoric that goes in it. And so companies make their business plan on it. And if oil companies said he's not going to allow new drilling, guess what they're not going to invest in?
Exactly. Yeah.
So those will have a faster impact than, like actual things that he does. It's crazy how being speculative works on that.
And also,
thanks, Ryan.
Exacerbated?
Yeah, well, he said speculative.
Speculative.
Which I appreciate it.
$8 word?
Yeah, it wasn't a 10.
No.
It's $8.50.
Who's going to
It's inflation.
exacerbate?
You go ahead.
No, not right now.
Whose lexicon is vaster?
Not right now. That seems like a superlative, Annie. I mean, I'm just saying.
Steve, what are they talking about? What is happening in here? DNC is going to be with us. This is brand new, live breaking news here on the Annie Frey Show at our food drive, and we cannot wait to see you and partner with you to help the people who are right here in our community. It is the conservative thing to do to help solve a problem yourself without waiting for somebody else to show up and do it. So will you participate in that with us? Wednesday, December 14th from noon to 3, be there at the West Clay Street Ruler Foods in St. Charles. See, I said Floods.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
I think I owe you $2. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
When you need to know what's happening, it's time to get in the huddle.
You're fraudulent. You're not in the business of winning football games. You're in the business of trying to prove your own asinine decisions correct. We can talk about the Irsay thing. Do I think the Saturday thing is the biggest joke in the history of the NFL? I do. But at least he was willing to say, this ain't working for me. I don't care that I just gave him extensions.
Listen to In the Huddle, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
So thediamondshop.net, that's the website, thediamondshop.net, in Clayton, been serving St. Louisans exactly like you since 1910. And of course I consider myself to be a St. Louisan. It's a place where you can go. You can have a relationship with people who are going to help walk you through the whole process. Your budget, the goal that you have for whatever it is you're looking to purchase, watches, necklaces, tie restraint. That's one of the things that I bought there for my husband. He bought me a strand of pearls. Actually, when I got this show, it was right around my birthday, and it was an amazing gift, and I love my Diamond Shop pearls. I want you to check out their website and see the beautiful products that they have there, the beautiful pieces that you can go in, talk to them about. If you want to customize something, they do that as well. They also appraise jewelry, they fix jewelry, watches, and they buy gold. Reach out to the Diamond Shop to start your conversation today. 6 months, same as cash as well. And you can go onto the Diamond Shop, create a wish list, and then just send that wish list right along the way to your loved one who's going to maybe go purchase something for it for you this holiday season. All of the details online, and also how you can become a VIP at thediamondshop.net.
Hi, Thomas Helbig here with the Retirement Advisory Group. We'd like to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I grew up right here in St. Louis, part of a large family, and that's what makes the holidays so special. The things we hold in our hearts, not in our hands. It's the people, family, friends, and the personal relationships that grow stronger with the passing of time. In the past 35 years, we've become part of many lasting relationships, and we've made a lot of friends in and around St. Louis, and that just can't be taken away. So as we turn the page and put yet another year in the books, I know a lot of us have endured some difficult times this past year. And for those of you who may have lost loved ones, our hearts go out to you. Here's hoping next year will bring even more joy and blessings to you, and remember the important things to be thankful for. So once again, from all of us at the Retirement Advisory Group, we'd like to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And from me and my family, I'm Thomas Helbig.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON info.com.
Chad here with ClaymanGroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com, where we buy property as is. For those of you not paying attention, the market is changing and prices are not continuing to rise. If you've thought about selling your house in the past few years, now is the time before the market changes even more. I'm here to make you a cash offer and a quick close on your timeline. You can find us online and fill out a form at ClaymanGroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com, KLAMEN Group.com.
Second Amendment Radio is a staple of solid firearm information on 97.1 every weekend, Saturday from 3 to 4, and Sunday from noon to 1. It's Second Amendment Radio and the great outdoors. 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Every day's a brand new chance to start again. All we need is a little push from start to end. You're gonna hear us say, we're gonna find our way.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're happy that you're here with us. Exciting news. The Deed of the Sea is going to join us at our Wednesday, December 14th food drive. And I'm going to ask you guys how you feel about this. When you have an event like this, we have the Kill Meat event this Friday, sold out.
Yep.
Yay. Super exciting.
Yeah.
Aren't you always kind of, I'm always worried nobody's going to come to my birthday party. That's kind of the way I feel about it. Like, we're going to have this thing. We've never had, have we had an Annie Frey Show event? We haven't, have we?
I don't know that, we've had.
The Tyrus event was maybe kind of like that. It was through our show, but it was really Tyrus and us promoting it.
That was probably the closest
and partnership
to being an Annie Frey Show event.
I started it in full time, because I had a Saturday show that started in the summer of 2016. I started on the air in 2018 middays. And so we were like a year and a half in, really kind of hitting our stride, and COVID hit.
Illinois Policy Christmas Party.
Yeah,
that was the most Annie Frey.
That was the scene of the White Claw incident that we talk about.
It's still happening.
Ryan cracks open a White Claw. If you've not heard this story, if you ever hear us teasing Ryan about it, Ryan, I guess someone asked you, like
2019.
You want a drink or something, and did you request a White Claw?
No, I think I went to the bar and I said, "What do you like? Do you have beer?" And they're like, "No,
Can
we
I have whiskey straight?"
Yeah, anything I requested,
like
they didn't have.
White Claw kind of guy.
So yeah, he hands me a White Claw. I'm like, really? I didn't even know what they were.
He cracked it open. And he took a sip of it, and then he just casually walked around the entire. I guess he didn't like it.
I didn't love it, and I felt bad throwing it away because I just hate wasting
so
things.
He just held it, and then we're taking pictures with people at the end of the night, and like his drink is sitting over here, and I picked it up. I'm like, have you even tasted it?
Not really.
Like, you've been carrying it around. I thought you had like 5.
No,
because you had carried it around for 2 hours.
Yeah.
But that was a great event. I never heard the backstory to that story.
This
it.
is why you guys need to do an after the show or behind the scenes podcast.
Done.
You said that on air now.
I've said it before on the air.
Have you?
Yeah.
You weren't listening. You can podcast the show anywhere you get your podcast, Brad.
Yeah. Rewind.
Is that what happens to it when I cut it and put it on Omni?
Yeah, the podcast. But make sure you subscribe because I think we get credit for that or something.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys should do an after the show podcast, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it turns into, and talk about things that go on behind the scenes or inside jokes that people might not know about.
Yeah, and whenever you mention it on air, I'm always like, done. We're totally doing it. And then after air, I'm like, we have so many things to do right now.
Yeah, 5 minutes in the studio, you could explain some things. So we had that with the Lincoln lobby, a Christmas party in 2019. I think we would have absolutely done it again in 2020, but nobody did anything in 2020, especially in Illinois. But the Kill Meat event, this kind of our first big all station. We had Jim Carafano and Hans von Spakovsky out. That was a quick sellout event. Lots of people who showed up for that.
That was great.
But I always feel like, what if nobody wants to come? And then we do a food drive like this, and I was like, oh my gosh, what if we're just sitting there and we have like 2 cans of peas?
I know. But the diaper
nobody.
drive was not like that at all.
No.
I mean,
But I was worried about that too.
We did have a couple people show up with either carloads or, in one case,
Truckload.
an absolute full truckload with pallets.
Like we said, Heroes Care, and they showed up and just had 2-3 pallets full of Huggies diapers.
I think
3 or 4.
I think it was more than 2.
What was the number he wrote down on the paper? It's like 20,000 or something like that.
Yeah, because I remember
Total.
looking at that going, is this like the receipt for the parking lot striping or whatever that was going on?
But
It
You
took
take
me a
this
while to
inside. This isn't
associate.
ours.
Yeah.
But the nice thing was that even though we had some big donations,
Yeah.
there were a lot of people that just showed up that day with a couple boxes in their car that either they had gotten beforehand or they just went into Ruler. And Ruler, if you recall, had to bring out more pallets. 4
Multiple
pallets.
times.
Well, they had to restock 4 times.
Because so many people were going into the store and buying those. And so we just hope to at least duplicate some of that success with a food drive. This is the first time we've done it. So, yeah, I guess I understand what you're saying.
You know that feeling?
Yeah, you're kind of
afraid
like,
no one's gonna come to your birthday
especially
party?
the first time.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Brad,
That feeling?
do you have
No,
that feeling?
people always show up for his
No,
party.
I feel like
I'm just
not,
waiting for him to be
not
like,
for this
it's gonna
show.
be a wild
I feel like
success.
I have a lot of faith, and I know the passion of the fannies, and that's with 2 E's.
Yeah.
But I know the fans of the show, and I know their passion, and I know their hearts, and they show up for us, and they make it so easy to do what we do. So I don't feel that way. But in my own events, yeah, I know what it's like to feel like nobody's going to show up. Sit there like, man, I put out an entire spread, and nobody showed up. Man.
Should we have a Christmas party at my house again this year?
I've never been to one.
Really awkward silence that makes me feel like I should ask this off the air. You can tell me no on the air.
The answer is yes. I'm just thinking about my schedule before I say yes.
Same.
but-
I might not be there,
Yeah.
but you can come.
Yeah, thanks.
It'll be an open house. I'll just leave food out, which will be left out from my children. It might be on the floor if you can get to it before
Great.
the dog gets to it.
Don't leave the front door open. That's unsafe. We'll come up your new deck, come in
Yes.
the back door,
Yes.
and just make ourselves at home.
I just walked in your house last time. Nobody was there. True fact.
Actually, that's literally
These
true.
are all true.
You were all at my house and I was not.
Yes. Yeah. You were out getting a whiteboard
That
didn't work.
Oh. I'm glad you brought that up. We took it back, and my husband takes it back into Office Depot, and he's like, I'd like to return this. And they're like, okay. And he's like, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
And
what?
these
Did
people
you try
look-
using chalk?
These people look at him like, they go, he tells me, he's like, I said, this whiteboard doesn't work. And she looked at me, she goes, what? And he goes, it doesn't work. When you write on it, it doesn't work. And she goes, how is that possible?
Yeah.
And he's like, I know.
We have video evidence of this thing.
So she took the markers that we bought, that we also returned, and went to write on it. And so it happened, and she's like, wow.
Yes.
And
I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it.
No, it's bizarre. Like, how do you, like, somebody on our chat said, the lowest tech thing that we did that night was an absolute unequivocal failure.
Yes.
And so she said, hold on. She went to go get markers that they had that were working on their whiteboards that they use at the location nope, didn't work either.
Oh yeah.
And no,
I hadn't heard this part.
And so she's like, okay, here's your. I mean, it was 100. I think the whole purchase for that night, that stupid whiteboard. I could have bought a tablet.
Yeah.
I could have bought an electronic
I
tablet.
could have just brought the whiteboard here from work.
I didn't think about it because we were going to do other things. We just ran out of time, and I was like, you know what? Hannah's really good with a marker. So I thought to myself, what is Hannah's biggest contribution to the show? I need a whiteboard. Which we cover up for the show.
Yeah,
but no, she's very good and she's artistic, and I got her like a dozen colored markers or something. And I
was stoked.
Yes.
This was for the midterm coverage. I don't know if we ever said that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think I specified that. I mean, you can go watch the midterm, the 7+ hour, I think it was 7.5 hour coverage, which is, I think, the top viewed video on our entire YouTube channel that's not a short. A YouTube short, which folks, those are so funny. And I just thought to myself, what can Hannah do? I put nails in the wall to hang the stupid thing up. You helped me do that, Ryan. And then the stupid thing didn't work.
That was so funny when you were, doing this live coverage and I'm trying to motion to you. I'm like, Annie,
yeah,
it's not working. Gone.
And I go, what? Like,
no, to describe it though, because if you're thinking, how does a whiteboard not work? Here is how a whiteboard doesn't work. You write on it, and you can see it for about 5 seconds. And then it's like the whiteboard would suck in the ink.
It fizzled it out.
And it would disappear. And you'd go, wow, that's amazing. It's like Mission Impossible. If I wanted Tom Cruise to see this and then nobody else, this is the perfect whiteboard.
So you're saying it was the FBI infiltrating our election night coverage?
I'm glad that you got that because that's exactly what I was saying.
We call it the Hunter Biden whiteboard?
Indubitably.
No, because Hunter Biden stuff never goes away.
It actually can be in plain sight, and yet nobody sees it.
You can put it on whiteboards in every office in the country.
When
and
you were a
nobody
kid,
would
did you
care.
have disappearing ink?
Oh, yeah.
Why
stuff.
Why was that so cool?
I don't know, but
you're like, look, Mom.
You just reminded me.
Mom's going, stop.
Yes.
What are you doing?
And like the glasses that had the mirror on the side of them.
What kind of chemicals were in that?
What, the glasses or the ink?
Either, I guess. I was really more thinking about the ink.
Glad we're all still here.
But you'd like squirt it on your shirt and then it would obviously disappear. But like, was that like straight like uranium or something? What was in the disappearing ink to make it
disappear?
So awesome.
Probably a lot of water.
And?
Mercury?
Mercury and other various carcinogens.
I bet, Hannah, I don't know. Have you ever heard of mercurochrome?
Nope.
You?
No.
Mercurochrome?
No.
Really?
Is it mercury based?
Yeah, it's like what you would put on your injuries, your cuts or whatever, and it was mercury.
Oh, we just use leeches.
We would use mercurochrome in our house growing up. It'll probably explain some things later on in my life when I develop some defects or something. Well, maybe
you use this?
Maybe in your mind I already have those defects. Let me know what you think that they are. That should be a poll.
Wow.
Does Annie have defects?
That
Yes
should
or no?
not be a poll.
And then you can list them.
Did the lead-based paint taste good in your house or bad?
It was just really addicting.
I understand that.
Mercurochrome.
A lot of people are commenting on the live stream saying that they know what that is.
Yes. I can't even read those words. Talk about $10 words. If I could say these, they'd be $11 words. Why was mercurochrome taken off the market? Furthermore, when mercurochrome was applied to the wound, it stained the skin red, making it more difficult to detect inflammation and infection. This ineffectiveness combined with the fear of mercury toxicity from the mercurochrome being absorbed through the skin resulted in the FDA ban. My sister and I, and you guys have all been to the house that I grew up. My sister and I at our house would play. What do you call it when it's probably something you're not supposed to say anymore? Somebody closes their eyes and you like lead them around and then they try to guess where they ended up. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Like you blindfold somebody.
Blind man's bluff?
I don't know. But at our house, we lived on a farm growing up, like a crop farm, no animals. We would take turns blindfolding each other. You'd walk them around the whole property, and then you'd have to try to guess where you were at the end. I was doing this to my sister, and I accidentally I don't know how this happened, other than she was blindfolded and I was in charge, but she ended up in a rose bush.
Oh, Annie.
I know, it's not my finest moment, especially if you ask her. And she had scratches all over her face. And so my parents are like, naturally, because this is what happens when you grow up in the 80s. They're like, come here, let's put some mercurochrome on it. So she had scratches on her face, and then they put this red staining mercurochrome all over her face. It was a not good look.
Did it have mercury in it?
Yeah.
And so the FDA at some point said, oh, this is toxic. We shouldn't be rubbing this on open wounds. But at some point in the past, the FDA had said, yeah, this is fine.
There's a whole generation of people who, if they could go to the store and buy Mercurochrome right now, would get in line.
Wow.
Because it apparently worked. I don't know. Mercurochrome and another popular antiseptic of a generation or two ago, merthiolate, contained mercury. That liquid metal health authorities have decided is toxic enough in large amounts to ban its general use, even enclosed in glass thermometers. It had you'd unscrew the lid, and it had like a wand of sorts with a little thing on the end that you could dip in and then just...
Little brush, right?
No.
Oh, never mind.
Sponge?
No.
Not a little sponge.
Like a ball at the end.
Okay.
And then you would just rub it over the wound and put some mercury on it.
Get the old Mercurochrome ball.
I haven't read the comments because I have research up on my computers, but
lots of people are saying that they used it. Sherry from YouTube said, my mom called it monkey blood.
Okay.
And then Vicky says,
Come here, let's put some monkey blood on it. You'll be just fine.
From Indiana Jones
Vicky Long says, my grandma's favorite cure-all.
Yeah, absolutely. Grew up with it. I wouldn't even be surprised if there's still some in my parents', just like for old time's sake, in their medicine
I
cabinet.
have a feeling. I just get the sense that this is all made up. That you've made this story entirely up. All the listeners are in on it because it sounds fake. It sounds like something that attracts snipes, maybe.
It's actually how you repel them, but I don't know what you've heard. Absolutely a factual story. And I'm glad that the commenters are joining me in that because it is ridiculous. And I can see how it sounds fake. Let's stick around for the YouTube live chat poll results with Hannah and your comments. Do you support Kevin McCarthy for Speaker? Yes? No? Or honestly, I don't even care. Go vote. The Andy Frey YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a minute.
But the here and now is saying it's today.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Left and right, we found the groove. Day and night, we're on the move. We can start right now.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with Truehold. Truehold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want, and Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since Truehold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Slim 180 is going to help you lose the weight. And you're thinking about all the Christmas parties that you have in front of yourself right now. You're thinking about all the treats and the foods and all of those expectations, and it's overwhelming. If you are thinking about losing weight, consider Slim 180 and how that they can help you lose weight and feel great for the holidays. You can buy now and save and start when you're ready. That's the key here. You can go to myslim180.com and learn more about how I have lost weight and how many people, my husband has lost weight with Slim 180 through the HCG diet. They also have right now an amazing opportunity for you to save. My Slim 180 is offering $180 off nutritional guidance weight loss programs through December 19th. You can do a Slim 80 with $180 off. They have 3 locations for you to visit: O'Fallon, Sunset Hills, and St. Charles. And these are all in Missouri. When you go to visit them, you'll be able to sit down with a counselor. You'll be able to talk about how you got to where you are, and she will be able to tell you, or he will be able to tell you exactly how you're going to get to where you want to go. And like I said, buy now and save your money, and then start when you are ready. All the details online at myslim180.com.
The St. Louis Blues official retailer, STL Authentics, is your go-to source for authentic team jerseys and exclusive gear you won't find at big box stores or other e-retailers. Reverse retro gear will be a hot holiday gift this season, so be sure to get some merch for the Blues fan in your life before it sells out. Or give them the gift of choice with an STL Authentics gift card. Get your holiday shopping done now at the Team Store at Enterprise Center or STLauthentics.com.
I'm Eric Robert with Stifel. The economy is always changing, but what does it mean for your investments? Join me and fellow Stifel financial advisor Bob Stockdale during On the Money, Saturday mornings from 11 until noon on 97.1 FM Talk. Stifel, member NYSE and SIPC.
Here's an unexpected holiday surprise for all the last-minute shoppers. This weekend, all of Diamonds Direct's earrings are 25% off. That's right, all earrings. An incredible 25% off. Diamond studs, diamond hoops, colored gemstone earrings, designer earrings, all earrings included. Who wouldn't love a beautiful pair of diamond stud earrings for Christmas? Make it happen this weekend and save an unprecedented 25%. Best prices of 2022. Special financing available too. Friday through Sunday only. And only at Diamonds Direct.
Have you always dreamed of a lush green lawn? Get that beautiful curb appeal without the hassle by calling Professional Irrigation Systems. They'll install your new automatic lawn sprinkler system and give you a variety of options and warranties. Don't spend half your day lugging a hose around watering your lawn. Let Professional Irrigation Systems do the work for you. They offer spring activations, backflow testing, mid-season tune-ups, and winterization. Call the pros that have been in business for 20 years. Professional Irrigation Systems. Online at proirrigation.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service now offers insulation services. Did you know 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated? Increase your energy savings and comfort with better insulation. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Kenny Wallace. Oh, I win the race, and then I get on, and I just do Ric Flair. St. Louis and the United States, they gave me a lot of love, and it sure was a night I'll never forget.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
It's a beautiful night. We're looking for something dumb to do. Hey, baby, I think I want to marry you. Is it the look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby? I think I want to marry you.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
So somebody suggested online that we should see if there's a way that people could donate to the food drive, and then we could maybe take a big shopping trip at Ruler Foods afterwards for people who can't come out to donate foods. I have an idea. What if, as people donate, we could have, like, during a break, we could have like a supermarket sweep?
Mm-hmm. That would
have
be fun.
Each of us go in and see who can get the most stuff in their cart and checked out and get the most donations with that money that people would donate.
But it has to be
like
canned stuff that can be donated. So we're not going to buy like a big turkey like they do on that show.
No, you want to figure out what's the most that you could get to help St. Louis Area Food Bank. Wednesday, December 14th. Right now, we need you to come out and donate goods. We'll see if there's something we can do about taking donations, because I know there's a lot of people who are interested in supporting us and helping us help other people, but need the ability to
if you can't make it between noon and 3 on that Wednesday,
take your lunch break and reroute it through St. Charles.
Yeah, good idea.
Easy
especially
to
if
do.
you live out in Mount Vernon.
I'm kidding. Today's YouTube live chat poll.
Today's LootTube.
You can find us at Ruler Foods.
Do you support Kevin McCarthy for Speaker? Yes, no, or honestly don't care who is Speaker?
Ryan, what was your response to that?
No, I do not support Kevin McCarthy for Speaker.
That is quite a different, emphatic no compared to the start of the show.
Well, because I've had time to think about it now. No, I've been thinking. I would not. I like the fact that there are enough people pushing the no. He's going to become the Speaker. But there are enough people pushing back on him that he's had to make some concessions as far as some of the investigations that he's sort of tentatively agreeing to, including the J6 committee and some of that stuff. I think there's a lot of reasons to push back on him being Speaker, and that's one of them, is to get some of those things done.
Are you going to be disappointed? Do you think the Republicans are in trouble if Kevin McCarthy is the Speaker?
I don't think so. I think he's just sort of he's like tofu. You put it in whatever dish, and it just tastes like the dish. I think that's why he doesn't seem like a dynamic speaker to me, but he's not bad. He's just kind of there.
I know we don't have a ton of time, but what's like the main main reason you're saying no?
For that very reason, that he's not a dynamic America first. He doesn't seem highly principled. He seems like what a lot of speakers have to do.
You don't think he's highly principled?
He just seems like he seems conservatively principled. He doesn't seem like he wants to really go after things in a way that I would want a Speaker of the House today to do.
Brad?
So I support him, and it's because I believe he's palatable to the whole country. So my thing is this, so I haven't seen anything about, I don't buy the whole rhino line about him. I think he's a conservative. I just don't think that he's as conservative as some of those on the conservative side would like, but he's not a rhino. That's a mischaracterization of him. But at the same time, when he's Speaker of the House, he's got to bring together the whole House, which means that he's got to get the purple Republicans and the deep red Republicans to come together. And if you go with somebody and I don't see who the other options are, Andy Biggs, I don't see him being able to unite the party. He's a firebrand. He absolutely is a firebrand, and I just don't know that he could bring the party together, because that's the thing about the Republican Party that everybody doesn't realize or doesn't want to admit, or that we don't talk about enough is it's a big tent.
I would say exactly. Brad pretty much didn't steal. I concur with you, Brad, that the leader needs to be able to coalesce different groups of people, and with the slim majority that the Republicans have, he is going to have to listen to the Freedom Caucus in order to get things done. And so he's going to be limited in how much he can just do things his own way. I think people thought Paul Ryan did that as well. So I do think that the leader needs to be able to talk and get groups together, but he is going to 100% have to adhere to the varying opinions and perspectives that are in the Republican Party, that are in the House, that have come from, a Marjorie Taylor Greene. Her district reelected her resoundingly. Lauren Boebert squeaked by. So those different districts, those representatives are going to have to be adherent to the people who they represent, and Kevin McCarthy has to put them all together.
All right, we have a ton of comments coming in. Wavy Lester said he says McCarthy has no backbone. He's a master at pandering. We need leaders who lead, who will stand up and do what's right, even if it's not popular. Mark S. from YouTube said, sure, I support him. Give him a shot. Joe K. from YouTube said, I voted yes, but my, quote, care meter has dropped post to midterm elections. Vicky says, I honestly don't care. I'm more worried about surviving the next 2 years and beyond. We'll be on a fixed income in about 16 months, and I'm not sure how that will look. Chris F. said I don't care since I don't know anything about McCarthy. I realized that I didn't say my thoughts on the YouTube poll. The options were, do you support Kevin McCarthy for Speaker? Yes, no, or honestly don't care who is Speaker. I'm still kind of torn, but I didn't want to vote that I don't care who the Speaker is, because I do care. I just don't know enough about Kevin McCarthy to fully have a decision, but I do care who is Speaker. We can get to the results here with over 150 votes asking, do you support Kevin McCarthy? 42% of the people said that they do support him. 34% say they don't, and 24% say that they don't care who the Speaker is.
Wow, that is an interesting breakdown. 42% said yes, 34% said no.
Yep.
So we have a dynamic audience, but of course it's going to lead moderate to the right. That's a split group of people. To me, that's pretty much a wash. Statistically, scientifically. I mean, what does that even mean anymore? Let's just be real. Join us at the Food Drive Wednesday, December 14th. More details online at 971talk.com/events. Mark Reardon up next.
Surprise!